What's up? Everything is working fine, it seems like. Okay, let me try the first. Let's check how this is working. So, this should be fine. Welcome, everyone. Okay, I think it's working. Let's see. Alright. I want to have a new series, which is not even really new. Is audio levels fine? Hopefully. I don't have my compressor in. Okay, let me just... I'm changing that one sec. Okay, it should be like that super high. Okay, hopefully it's better now. I want to have a new series, which is not really new, since I've done this. I've done this beforehand way long ago. I've done this beforehand. It was a very long time ago. Like at this point, ages. At this point, it was years ago when I've done this little just watch all the regions, finals type of stuff. But I want to do it once again for MSI this time around. I will be watching either from VOD, like in this case, or from live view. However, I'm gonna be watching every single grand final, or in LCK's case, just the 2 qualification matches because they're weird. What is the playoff format? Nonetheless, I want to watch every single final-ish. Basically, just to get an idea what kind of teams are CFO and GAM gonna be facing. Because that's what we're gonna be finding out today. What do they need to do in order to beat these teams? And for the most regions, except for... and for the most regions, whoever is in the finals, in case it's gonna be G2 and Koi, both of them are gonna be watching at MSI. So these 2 teams gonna be there. I've seen like glimpses of these games. I obviously know who won and all that. But we are here to scout. And also modern technology, I can just go in for the draft. We are here to scout. See what the enemy is up for. And also just enjoy some League. Most of you guys have probably seen these matches. Personally, I mean, I like seen parts of that. Not the entire ones though, so this is gonna be also my way to just watch what's happening. I don't really have that much free time these days in the morning, so... Okay, LEC was in the night, so that's a different thing, but like, for example, LCK and LPL didn't really have that much time to watch. It's also gonna be good for me to see what's happening there, but I just sort of... Do I mean, you guys probably know it's like... Okay, no, but this one is fine. But these are VODs, obviously. So I want to see what they're cooking up here. Oh, it's so freaking hot here. Just put this on. I want to see what these teams are cooking. Because, again, I want CFO and GAM to do well. And for that, I mean, there's no chance that they would be listening to me. But I want to know what's happening with other teams. I'm also gonna be doing my usual solo queue and all kinds of, like if there's champs, I don't know if there's gonna be one. I'm gonna be doing my usual solo queue spectations as well. But now that we have a bit of a break time, I wanna feel this with other regions, how other regions are doing, and it seems like Caps in this case gonna be first picking the Talia. Also just to learn about other teams, what are they doing. Bit of a VOD review again. I have noticed this when I was watching other regions. I have watched LCP so much that I just feel like I'm so... like... I have watched LCP so much that I feel my brain is just so fixated on what's happening there. For example, I see Driver and Rest and I'm like, I kind of know what kind of champs they're playing. I know what kind of stuff HomeQ would want or Levi would want. And a lot of times I'm just like watching, for example, LCS. And I go like, hey, why didn't you pick this one? Because in the LCP, they would always pick this one. And what by the region to start it with? Then LEC, the region, a lot of times known as the inventors. They're crazy. And also Mirvin especially is quite crazy. Fellow gacha enjoyer. I absolutely love Mirvin. He plays a lot of weird stuff. But for now, the draft is pretty much normal. This is definitely something I could see in the LCP as well. Talia, Wukong, who are G2 gonna be picking? I mean, Broken Blade is definitely can play some weird stuff as well. Not as weird as Mirvin, but definitely he's also quite a player. If you remember last MSI, it was kind of Broken Blade and at that time Mickey, who basically just changed the whole meta. So I want to see what these guys could do. Well, also there's a Nico support picked up. It seems to be the case. And on the Koi side, what are they going to be going for? Absolute another Teemo. We don't really have like hover trolls in the LCP. Not as much as Mirvin was doing with the Master Yi hover and now Jojo with the Teemo hover, but it's just gonna be the Gwen. So far this is pretty normal. Actually there is not that much Gwen in the LCP, but so far I'd say this is normal. I came here. I'm doing this VOD review because okay, the Warwick ban is kind of crazy. But I came here. But I'm doing this VOD review because in the LCP there we have a lot of just absolutely normal draft. Okay, maybe not for... because CFO can go weird and also Levi plays a lot of weird stuff as well. But I came here because LEC is known as the inventor region. And I'm getting normal drafts here. This is crazy. I'm gonna fast forward a lot of stuff. I'm not here for 4 hours. I'm gonna end before that and then just hop into Valorant Mobile. I still need to get in the beta, but that's like the applications like available in like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. If this is an LEC, okay, I would say okay, Varus is banned. Yeah, Zaya is a good choice then. But as for G2, what else is left? The Caitlyn? Quite early for that, but I mean, yeah, I don't. As for G2, could it be an Ezreal? The Caitlyn is not necessarily like super game one champion, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Or Jhin is also available. I guess like they have pretty good. Wait. Oh, okay. It's top lane. So we still don't know the ADC, but I think Ezreal is fine. Jhin is also fine here. Oh, I forgot. I completely forgot about a Kalista. Wait, how was Kalista not banned after the Nico? Well, yeah, this is absolutely the best choice here for G2. And the Rakan for Koi, also quite expected after the Zaya. Pretty normal drafts. Come on, LEC. I'm doing the VOD review because I was told you guys are going crazy. But these are normal ones so far. Okay, to be fair, it's fearless and all that. So we're gonna be opening this up with a normalish draft. Let's get into the game after. Alright. I did some like AI magic, so they shouldn't have the casters on. The audio might be a little scuffed at times, but like I think I was able to like kind of take this away. Might be a little buggy. A little duel on the top side. Just dancing around. Okay, not dance. Look, there you go. There's the dance. Okay, good. Good job there. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Mirvin on some more weird champions later on. But for now on the Gwen, well, the junglers are not nice. top laners always just dancing around. They know the rules. But the junglers already just went on each other. Let me grab a drink. 1 second. Also, big news! I found Dr. Pepper! Like zero. Sugar-free one. Big news. I couldn't find it anywhere in Europe. It wasn't like technically a European shop, it was like in a Chinese shop. I bought so much stuff there. There were so many good like drinks and all that. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit louder. I don't wanna make this too loud because there might be pops and all that in it. Okay, now top laners are fighting. No more friendship. The game has already started. Wait, what kind of stat is that? Throughout, just on Xinjiao. I mean, I guess like Koi, G2 and Casey as well are kind... That's not even true. G2 are not even dominating. Technically it's like the 4th seed and 3rd seed. But I mean, you can absolutely never count out G2, so they're always gonna be my honorary 1st seed. And Koi, I mean, they stepped up. I'm not gonna be VOD reviewing the previous matches, but Jojo hasn't really had the greatest season, I'd say. He was just like kind of quiet. But coming into playoffs, he definitely has been leveling up. Even against both matches against KC, I do feel like that Jojo has played really well. I was like at a family dinner when these games happened, so I was like kind of watching on my phone, didn't want to be too disrespectful, so didn't watch too much. However, this is gonna be El Yoya. We could see beforehand he has like a 5-1 or something win rate on the Xinjiao. And he is gonna be taking the first blood for Koi. Already a pretty good start. Also giving some freedom to Supa, that's massive. Shutting down a Kalista Nico lane is just incredibly important, and I mean, I guess this is not GG, this is way too early, but this is incredibly massive for Koi. Kalista, if behind, she just cannot really do anything. Okay, I'm gonna get some Dr. Pepper. Anytime I'm in the UK, I'm basically only drinking Dr. Pepper and Iron Brew. Because they're just, you can never ever find them in Europe. They're like some shops, they're like super expensive. So whenever I'm in the UK, I'm just like buying up Dr. Pepper and Iron Brew. I mean, there are some here, just like not sugar free. Okay, Jojo, nice charm to Caps. I mean, there's gonna be the knockback. Caps probably has to... Oh, there's a flash, but that was super late. I mean, at least Alvaro is the one who's getting the kill, but that was like super late from Caps. Oh my god, he's really lagging a bit here. I mean, he wanted to be safe. I guess I can understand that part, but... Jesus Christ! Another kill for Koi. And it seems like a one grab for them as well. Is it a grab or is it a scuttle? Wait, why is Alice having the like little kill feed for the scuttle? I mean, it's not like I don't like the scuttle. I love the scuttle. It's not that the scuttle is not important. You're an important member of the Rift. I just thought it was the grabs. Ah, Dr. Pepper is so good. LUM finals. Okay, they just like missed the like 2022. He was in a lot of them though. Was like Mad Lions that like dominate? I mean 2021, yeah, but after that. I mean, let's just hope, or maybe not hope if they're against CFO. Let's not hope. I mean, let's hope that this will be the same curse as Mad Lions against CFO. Now Mirvin, he is gonna get the one, but I mean Gwen is immune, and that helps out quite a lot. They're still not diving. I mean, it's probably the right choice. Might be expecting Alioya to stick around, and that's exactly what was happening. Dragon is on the map. Would they take it? I said this a lot in the LCB co-streams as well. I always love some teams who are doing early dragons. I do feel like that's a pretty important objective to start stacking. However, it doesn't seem like either team would really be eyeing with that one. Maybe if Mirvin can get a little bit of prio here, maybe we see a dragon taken. But for now, nope. Broken Blade gonna be on the top side. There's an ultimate as well. Gonna be dealing some damage to Supa. Not level 6 though on Supa. But it's not important. Flash still available if he wants that. And I don't think that's necessarily diveable, so not much is happening for now. Also, no dragons taken. Elia didn't take the dragon. Come on, man. Okay, Mirvin. Now back to 1v2. Though there's a stun, I feel like Mirvin is just dead here. Can he get a trade? Not really. Oh, he was immune for a second. Meanwhile, Jojo versus Caps. There's one more odd charge. But the charm is not. But the charm is on cooldown. Jojo gonna be, I mean, kind of winning this 1v1. But Caps is still not down. He also has TP, so it's not necessarily gonna be any kind of advantage for Koya. And even, I mean, there's Kuman gonna be taking the dragon. Pretty early dragon. I mean, he has time also to just go for the grobs after. Honestly, G2 is not necessarily playing this early bad. But the fact that they gave away 2 kills already, I mean, that's not the greatest. At least Khalees is still in the game though, so I mean, there is that. I might be like fast forwarding if there's any boring parts. However, I feel like early game is I mean, I still want to keep it on for the early game. There is still a lot of action happening all the time. Grobs are now up as well. Now there's the Nico coming top. There's even the stun. I do not think that's necessarily gonna be a kill. Elioya gonna be pretty far off from the grobs. If G2 would wanna start that, it's gonna be a little aggressive here. I wasn't able to watch LEC that much this year, so just while reviewing these finals, at least I got a glimpse how these teams are looking like. I'm always a big LEC defender, because I have a lot of American friends. They're always flaming. And I keep saying that, hey guys, G2 gonna do stuff at internationals. Now, I'm not necessarily sure how true that's gonna be. Let me just say that. I'm not necessarily sure if this particular G2 roster would be doing much, but I mean, I would want to see some aggression from them. Kalista having like a super tiny bit of a lead, which is, I guess, like good. But I'm not even sure that's enough. She would need to win these lanes, especially with the Nico. I need game 5. Boss leaves at me. Oh my god, it's so relatable. Exact same thing happened to me at the World's Plains. I also had a midnight boss, and I was like, I want to stay here as long as possible. I don't want to spend too much time waiting for the boss afterwards, so I was hoping for that. I didn't get it. That was like 2 games, one with the SAG one. I was like, look, SAG, I want you guys to win, but make it 2-1. They lost 0-2. Yeah. Not the greatest experience. At least right after that was R7 versus 100T. They made it 2-1, so I was happy about that. And I could catch my boss in peace. However, as a Broken Blade, he cannot be in peace. But not even for Elioya. This guy is playing pretty good. But genuinely, Elioya so far has been quite impressive, which is a bit scary. I mean, we'll see what he can do against Junjia. Also, but I mean, we can see what he can do internationally. We'll see if the curse follows from Mad Lions or not. When they're against CFO, I certainly hope so. But besides that, I'm definitely gonna be rooting for Koya as well. I like all the players on there. They have a gotcha player, which is already like a how to be a team who I follow. Have a gotcha player. That it is easy like that. That is the most important part. Also, we can after this game, if you guys want, we can also just review a different type of Mirvin account. Top 3 teams LEC. My top three are probably. I mean, this is kind of, I don't. This is gonna be sounding like I'm kind of like some mainstream, but I guess a G2 Korean case, like a Korean KC. I guess. I mean, I always like G2. Like I haven't watched that much G2 in this iteration, but like the previous rosters, I like them so much. Lost MSI, I absolutely love G2. They were extremely creative. They literally made the MSI meta last year. I love G2. And as for Koi, I mean, I like Jojo. Whenever Jojo was on the 1EG roster, I definitely was one of my favorite teams. Danny as well. Unless Jojo, he's out. I mean, not even flashing though. Wait, that's kind of crazy. Also, LEC shows like the health bar for low health. Do you see that one? Wait, that's so cool. Hey, LCP, can we get that one as well? The health bar looks like whenever someone's like going low. On the portrait, it shows the health bars. Wait, that is kind of good. That is... LEC has some crazy technology. It's now okay. Caps has to flash out. Is gonna be dead though? That is the big question. Not available for Supa as well as Flash. Okay, they're engaging on the result. Stun is not coming through, or maybe it is. Dancing on the edge. Caps still gonna be... oh, whoa. ODS is just... ODS lost it. Very thrilled by these plays. But yeah, anyways, G2, I always loved them. Even like from previous MSI, they were really good. Even the other iterations, like from 2019. Okay, I like Jojo. Oh. And I was just about to glaze you, Jojo. I was literally... How am I jinxing these teams retroactively? I'm watching a VOD, but somehow I'm still jinxing them. How is it possible? Hello? Oh my god. Well, that's on me. That is on me, Jojo. Anyways, I like Jojo as well from the EG days. The Danny Jojo roster, one of my favorite rosters of all time. And also KC, I really like KC. I went to Montpellier, like even before KC and LEC. That was one of my... the KC versus the Movistar Riders, like 2023. Absolute favorite event I've ever went to. The energy in that arena was crazy. That was also like a 5-game series. It was crazy. So I like them as well. Like these top 3 teams, G2, Korea, and KC are the ones who I like have some kind of connection with, as I'm like you know, either followed them in the past or just like went to events or something like that. I would say they are my favorites as like teams. I mean, they're the top 3 as well right now, but just as like team vibes. I like them. And I'm also happy to see these 2 teams at MSI. Obviously the Jojo storyline is pretty good. I was kind of sad that KC didn't make it. But with that being said, Jojo making it to Canada, to his home country, this is pretty hype. I really hope that's... I mean, there's gotta be 100% some content about that as well. Like, I don't know, Jojo making Canada quizzes or something. That would be pretty hype. I cannot wait to see those. And also, I mean, I guess like Koi is gonna be like the crowd favorite at MSI, right? That's like with a Canadian player. I have been yapping a lot, but like silently G2 just took back the lead. Not necessarily there, but it's closed. There is basically no goal lead for them. Like Koi. And that comeback is just almost, I mean, kind of entirely on Hansama. And to be fair, we are still in the earlier stages. Kalista Nico should still be pretty strong. And if she's not ahead, then this is a pretty useless champion. I'm a little afraid still. And there's like the Herald for Koi in the end as well. Plus Supa. I mean, Supa is really good on ADC. Yeah, but Supa gonna be having the ultimate very safe on the Zaya. So it's still gonna be pretty hard to take him down. G2 kind of fumbled some kills in the early game, but I mean, props to them. They're really coming back in here. After the early fumbles from G2 there. They're still, I feel like, doing a pretty good job. I'm not necessarily sure about their chances at MSI. Even though I'm always defending them. People told me that nah, G2 is not gonna make playoffs or something like that. I was like, nope, just wait, just wait. G2 always shows up when it matters. I mean, to a degree. Not necessarily winning everything now, but to a degree. I mean, they're definitely gonna be showing up a little. But I don't know, I still feel like, I mean, BB is still there. Not necessarily sure what kind of form he's gonna be having in the MSI against, like, Jesus, like, Bean is gonna be there. Driver, Rest, and Kia, like, the best top laners. Maybe Aji is there as well from LCP, but, I mean, definitely some of the best top laners even from LCP. Potentially Beeple. I'd say we don't know who's coming from Latin, but it's probably gonna be Beeple, I'd say. So he's definitely gonna be having quite a competition, and I mean a lot of Psycho tops. Unfortunately, no Deshai. Rest in peace, IG. Just happened today, but they are out. We don't have Deshai, but there's still gonna be plenty of Psycho tops in MSI. So I cannot wait to see what he's doing. This is Cuman and Lebrov. I mean, especially Lebrov. I don't know. I don't know how much he can cook. I feel like the best iteration, I'm not the best, but like last year's iteration of G2 kind of worked out because Mickey was going insane. Like on the Poppy pick, especially the Hello Blades Poppy. That just kind of made the MSI meta for a while. I'm not necessarily sure if Lebrov has the same kind of oomph. But we'll see. G2 should definitely get out of play-ins. I mean, we'll see who's gonna be there. Maybe, I mean, if BLG is there, plus Gam. I mean, play-ins is not gonna be easy though, I have to say. But we'll see on the LPL side, it's not over just yet, so we don't know who's going there. It's not gonna be easy for G2 though, 100%. I'm yapping a lot, and there are no kills. However, gold lead once again basically non-existent. Even Broken Blade got a little bit to himself as well. That is from mostly just objectives, right? It has to be some turrets because the CS is about the same. Yeah, wait, how? Okay, wait. I don't know this UI. So they got the turret feat, and Koi got the kill feat. Okay, okay. I need to learn the UI. I'm just so used to the LCP one. Bam! That's gonna be the first turret for Koi. Oh, there you go. I was like, almost, but no. First turret for Koi. Finally, at least they got some gold back. But look at the top side. Jesus Christ. Broken Blade is destroying Mirby for now. However, oh, Caps. Sorry, not even Caps. However, but Lebrov stepped a little bit too far ahead. Had to be saved out. And because of that, that's the first dragon for Koi. Or sorry, no, what am I talking about, man? I need more caffeine. This is third dragon in the game. I missed some of the previous ones. Second for Koi though, at 20 minutes. I'm not sure the soul is gonna be in play, but the hex tag definitely is a pretty good soul to have. I use the tool to like have a clean feed. I don't have a clean feed for LEC, but I use the tool to like remove any voice. It's working pretty fine. Hopefully it's not having that many glitches. So yeah, overall my thoughts so far. G2's macro is pretty good, I'd say. As in the sense when they're behind, they are going for the turrets. They definitely were able to generate some gold passively. But the micro is not there, I feel like. Yeah, I feel like the micro though. They got ganked, couldn't really do much about that. I guess like that's also part macro, but you know what I mean. There were the ganks earlier on. And Kalista is not really able to win the lane that hard. Plus Elioya just I mean, he is definitely doing much better in terms of jungler clear. So overall, I'm happy to see Koi being this proactive in the lanes. And G2's macro is not too bad, but I mean, their micro is absolutely not at their peak, I feel like. I'm showing the board. Yeah, it's boarded up. Baron is quite far away still, but at least for top lane. Still a little bit of safety for Mirvin. I mean, there's gonna be a swap now, but beforehand he was kind of struggling. Mirvin now gonna be swapping. But that guy was struggling a little, which is not that uncommon. I mean, that's still, even with the immune and all that, that's still a range versus melee. I just wanna see a big team fight because I feel like Koi is so far doing better. Like the little actions. We haven't seen a 5-on-5 just yet. I'm a little bit worried though. Not gonna lie, I don't want to be too doomer. I don't want to be too doomer for the LEC, and this is just literally one game. Not even the full game, they're just like 22 minutes of one game. But I'm a bit worried because like G2's macro is good, but their fights so far were not the greatest, like getting caught out and all that. And Koi, I mean, they're just bleeding gold after getting some wins. We'll see if they can finally snowball this lead or not, but I mean, G2 were able to come back basically from like 1,000 gold. And let me tell you, if G2 can do that, then other teams in other teams in MSI can 100% as well. It's Otacon. Is it Otacon time? We're not watching LCP, so I'm not sure if LEC also has some kind of patented Otacon throw move. But definitely in the LCP, it's kind of known that whenever Otacon spawns, he just has a bit of a throw aura around him. I'm not sure if this will be the case here or not. But for now, at least, Koi just warding up, making sure that at least G2 is not like trying to sneak it out. I'm not sure if I should fast forward or not, because there's a setup there. I mean, they're setting this up, but not really. No one's really gonna be engaging on that. The threat of the fight, at least, is making Mirvin drop a bit easier. Nora is gonna be moving down now, but definitely Mirvin needs these little free times. BB on just a normal 1 versus 1 lane, like he was winning that hard. So Koi just basically needs to try these objectives to let Mirvin just play a bit more freely. But oh, Caps might be getting this one. Super. Barrier already popped, there's even an ultimate. Both of them used. Okay, that's pretty good by Caps. Considering the fact that like Dragon is spawning, Baron's gonna be up very soon, there's also Otacon. That is such a messy cooldown to take away from Super, and Koi not gonna be overextending for that. They're just 2-2 in terms of dragons. And the chances of a soul just going further and further. Baron and Otacon next to each other. Would we see either of them taken? Again, like I was like kind of peeking to this match. Like I know the results and all that, but I was at a family dinner, so I couldn't really check exactly what was happening. So I don't remember if like who took Baron or anything like that. I barely remember anything. Also, I was kind of drunk, so I don't remember that much from this game. like all the games today, like all the match. I don't remember that much. I've just seen the result and the aftermath. The dance continues. Koi is handling that pretty well, I'd say. They were able to extend their gold lead like about 500-ish. When it all started, they had about 1.5. So they were able to at least a little bit. At least a little. Just get some passive income. That minion is very sus. Alvaro is gonna be like, wait, what is this guy doing here? So yeah. Koi's early game was not the best, but their macro is absolutely better at this point. Whenever Mirvin can just push these turrets, whenever he can side lane, I feel like that's still not an issue for them. I was a bit too harsh on him in the early stages. He lost the 50-50 there, but he's winning it now. He has the guaranteed. Alright. Are we finally seeing something taken here? God damn it, the dance is taking so long. Koi is looking for the perfect pick here, I feel like. No one really wants to start anything, but the perfect pick is not coming. G2 being a bit safe, but just as I'm saying this, maybe I am actually retroactively jinxing them. Mirvin almost getting the one. Pops the ult, pops the ghost as well, and then can just get out. On the other side though, we almost seen a kill, but nope. Not about that as well. No kills. No kills are happening. Oh my god, I am not confident. Just watching this game, I'm not really confident. These teams' chances in the big stage. With that being said, I mean, LCK is basically unbeatable, I feel like. Even BLG, if maybe every single member pops off. I'm gonna talk about them later. Obviously, I'm gonna be watching in a similar fashion the LPL finals too. I will see how much they improve with Baichin. But I don't even know how to pronounce, so I should look up the pronunciations. Maybe Bean also wakes up, but I mean, okay, G2 just taking Otacon here. Koi is super safe, maybe way too safe. It has an Otacon for G2, but a fight after. I mean, this is still looking not too bad for Koi, but Alvaro immediately gonna get popped. Oh my god, defensive ultimate from the Rakan as well. Oh no, no, Koi! I'm not liking this. Even someone like a BLG will not let this slide. I mean, I did say, I do feel like that LCK just looking insanely strong. The only thing that's not really going for LCK is their format. Their format is just horrible. The LCK format is absolute garbage. I might be coming back biting Genji. At least they got 5 games. But I mean, the fact that they only played one single series, that is crazy. Because of LCK's format, maybe there's gonna be some kind of upsets. But I mean, I'm not confident, is all I'm saying. I'm not necessarily confident looking at the LEC that they can do magic like last MSI. Koi is still generating gold though, but they're super safe. They lost Otacon because of that as well. They lost the 3 drops too earlier on. And now, Mirvin just dead here. Not much you can do. Who's gonna get the kill? There's only a question left. And that's gonna be Skewman. Koi, meanwhile, beat up a dragon. So, at least that's going for them. Hextech soul point. But both teams are really going for only the objectives, which, I mean, in G2's case, it's understandable, they're quite far behind. But as for Koi, they're super safe, and I feel like G2 also feels that, and they're trying to be more aggressive, trying to go for some riskier plays. And this Baron might coming back biting. However, Alioa already jumping in. There's gonna be also the nice ultimate from Labro. But meanwhile, Hansama just free kills everyone. No one really even targets him. Nice few kills for G2. Not a massive victory. They lost one member, but they got 3. Cannot take the Baron, but I mean, Got some gold back. That's all you want when you're behind. And Koi, super hesitant. Why are they... I don't get this. Like, why are they so hesitant? Am I crazy? They could have won so many fights if they initiated, but they're always waiting until they're in bad position. I mean, G2 also kind of trolled this one. Like, they were all half held because of the Baron when the whole fight started, but I mean, all things considered, they're still... I feel like that's a pretty big victory for them, and G2, as you can see, gonna be restarting the Baron. Can they get it this time around? I don't think Alvaro himself can do much. Mirvin might be. Alioya here has to go for the steal, but nice ultimate from Broken Blade. At least gotta be a sacrificial lamb. That's all fine. But they got the Baron, or is it fine? Is it fine? There's the charm, nice charm coming in from Jojo. And no, it's not fine. It is not fine. Double kill for Jojo. Oh my god, he's saving this game. There's still gonna be 2 members from G2 who gets maybe the Baron buff. But that was a much needed kill for Jojo. Quick 2 kills. Second item Horizon, but that's actually kind of based. And Koi finally at least get a turret, it seems like, out of all that. They might be even going for caps. Oh, okay, that's Alioya, calm down here. Surely not killing Alioya here, right? No, they're just gonna be leaving. Okay, well done by Koi. But this is, sometimes I feel like a little too late. I mean, they're still in the lead, but they're just always super passive. Oh, Labro? What is he trying to do here? Stun Jojo maybe? I mean, Jojo is super low health, yeah. Even Lavrov alone could kill him at this point. Well, there's the Nico. Protobelt. Support Nico. That is my type of support. Taking Protobelt because, I mean, come on. It's a cheap item now. Pre-OP. Why not? Jojo was so insane in this fight, by the way. G2 screwed it up hard, but Jojo, props to him. Props to Jojo. He is really stepping up in this playoffs. I couldn't watch that much LEC, but I peeked into some games. Wait, Jojo died? Wait. There is no way I'm literally jinxing everyone retroactively. Wait, did you see what happened to him? Wait. Am I crazy? Wait, when did he die? Are we getting a replay, or did I just literally... If you don't get a replay, I'm just gonna rewind. Wait, what? When did he... Oh, that was... I am so stupid, man. Had to another go of leads. Okay, I'm literally just stupid. Sorry. I mean, they kind of had to learn how to let the leads since it's good early game from the beginning. She was ending the game. Do you mean Koi? Koi's early game was really good, but they're bleeding gold in the mid game. And if G2 can do that, trust me. BLG, everyone's legend. I mean, Genji and Hanwha, maybe. I don't know who, but like those teams. I mean, Hanwha, KT, and also T1, like all those teams. Trust me, they can also just take away gold in the mid game. That is my only issue kind of with Koi. Their early game was really good, and the Jojo pops off. I mean, he can still save games, but yeah, I mean, that is gotta be an issue 100% against like some of the other MSI teams. TP coming in from Jojo. You did well last time around. Can you also win this team fight? Koi's team fighting is not too bad, which is like mostly Jojo. But it's not too bad. As Laura gonna be kind of missing out. I mean, finding 2 members, but G2 couldn't really engage on that. And the first kill, wait. Okay, there is Jojo. Jojo popping up. Jojo is gonna be airborne. And Jojo almost dead. Oh, Jesus Christ. What was the HP number there? It had to be like below 10. Just have one for... Wait, what? 1 for 1. Jojo's dead though. Unless... Oh, nice charm. Well done by that. Oh, Caps! And Caps gonna take him down. Oh, that was too much. That was too much, Caps. Well done once again. Now, Hansama, I mean, he has to retreat. There is no way G2 can do this dragon. At least not in this position. Maybe the Sandwich. Nope. Koi with the Hextech Soul. That is pretty massive. Like, they have a ton of poke. I mean, this is probably GG at this point, but their mid game was not good. G2 100% had the... Wait, okay, they have to be getting some kills here. Oh, no. Jojo, save the game, please. Do not let me jinx them retroactively. Okay, Jojo gets... Okay, there you go. Oh my god, Jojo is absolutely carrying this game. Early game, LEC was playing well. But Jesus Christ, some of these team fights, man. Jojo popping the hell off. Yeah, Koi had the issue winning early game and not transitioning that lead. I haven't watched that much, but that was their issue throughout the split as well. But Alvaro was like, I mean, on the recon it's like pretty simple what you need to do. He has good engages, but it's just not as flashy as someone on like a Nico, obviously. I mean, we'll see later games. We're gonna see some more. The fact that the Super and Alvaro didn't just fall insanely hard in the early game is pretty massive. The early game is good. But yeah, in the mid game, man, for now it is kind of Jojo's show. I mean, maybe Koi is gonna be fine with just being a Jojo show if he gets the crowd buff in Canada. He just needs to pop off, you know, get the crowd's energy. He might be doing things there. And I mean, it seems like they can kind of... Okay, I don't wanna jinx. I don't really know who won game one actually. And also obviously, but I know my powers. Somehow I can bend the time and jinx retroactively. I don't wanna retroactively jinx them. But it seems like at least they can close this game out now. But with that being said, I'm not necessarily convinced for now. As with this, I mean, this should be Koi's fight. BB gonna be down already, and even if Mervin is already dead, I feel like Jojo is all healthy. Might not even wanna go for G2. There is a juice to wave. Could also potentially get an inhibit as well. But what are they doing? Wait, what are they doing here? I mean, I don't think necessarily either Koi member is in the danger of dying, but yeah, that's... Should they just run to the Baron immediately? I mean, it's still fine. Gonna be taking up the Baron. Jojo still looking for someone. And no, Caps gonna be joining though the fight. Caps versus Jojo. A little bit of a 1v1 there. There's a nice charm from Jojo. And Jojo should be getting the solo bolo here. There's an odd pop. Nicely done. We don't see that what's happening on the side, but... Okay, meanwhile... Oh, wait, Caps get Jojo. Wait, whoa. I really hope we get a replay of that. Wait, how... Oh no. What? I mean, it's still gonna be a net positive for Koi, but like... How? Wait, what? Caps woke up? What's happening? I mean, I want Caps to just be in his peak once again in MSI. I would love to see a strong Caps. That was a pretty good charm from Jojo. And even the dodges are really good. Pops dot here, dodges a little... Oh, the Zonya. Oh, got baited. Well done by Caps. He needs to wake up if G2 wants to do something at MSI. As Mirvin... Oh, wait, gets one. Wait a second. Mirvin? Won the 50-50. Come on, gonna go for the second one. No weapon banner. He just leaves it at that. Okay, surely at least they get an inhib here. A little bit sloppy from Koi. But all things considered, not too bad. My only issue is that fixing the mid game, that is incredibly hard. I said the early game and laning, like you can practice that, that's not necessarily the hardest. Fixing how they're not... Fixing their issue in the mid game, how to prevent just bleeding gold. That is gonna be pretty hard, but at least it seems that they came back. Well done by Jojo as well, he's absolutely awake at this point. And Koi winning game 1. Okay, in the end, that's not too bad. Do you prefer to watch without commentary? Yeah. I watch LJL. I mean, I'm gonna be streaming LJL today in Europe, but tomorrow if you're in America. I'll be streaming LJL with commentary, but like... That's fine, that's different because I'm listening in Japanese. If I'm hearing English while I'm speaking English, that just like bothers me so much. Like I just... My brain cannot take that. I had to use a tool to like remove voices from the VOD. Well done by Koi. 1 up against G2. Okay, let's just jump into game 2 here. Okay. 1 up for Koi. As I said, sloppy mid game, but in the end, I mean, they still were able to come back, and their early game is promising. I'd say definitely it's promising. I don't know how it would fare against the Asian teams. That is absolutely my worry for them. Hopefully the Mad Lions curse is not really catching up to them. But I mean, there are no more minor regions, so... I mean, there's technically like the Brazilian team. But if the Brazilian team gets to play-ins, then something has went really wrong there. So Koi is likely not going to be facing them. Wait, oh my god, that is a strategy. If Koi, formerly known as Mad Lions, cannot face a minor region, then the curse is not catching up. Oh my god, wait, this is so big brain. Haven't thought of this aspect. Well, they have pre-game interviews. Wait, that's massive. Okay, let's see. Okay, game 2 draft. Let's watch that now. If I was in the LCP, I would slam first pick Varus. Or the Senna. I mean, if you want to go for some stacking Senna. Are you gonna go for the Smolder now? Oh, no. Do not give me Senna Smolder. I watched so much Senna Smolder. That's enough. Get me out of here. Oh, is Supa a Smolder player? Or could be Jojo as well. We've seen some mid Smolder too, but that's kind of losing the point. For now, they're gonna be going for the Pen first pick, making sense. Talia already banned in the Fearless. Wait, you don't see the Fearless bans? Okay, hopefully we're gonna be seeing it later. My brain is not that big to remember all the picks. Usually the Pen Talia is what you like to go for. But it's not available anymore, nor the Ari. Who's even left in the mid lane? Who can kind of match together with the Pen? It could be the Varus Slam, Smolder Stand. Yeah, that's the Varus. Good one. With that being said, when it comes to Koi, it also could be a top lane Varus. I don't expect that. That's usually what you pick against the Rumble, which is already banned. So I don't necessarily expect that from Mirvin, but you never know with this guy. Also, you never know with G2, so I don't know how much they're gonna be cooking here. I don't remember the drops at all. The Nautilus pick, pretty normal together with the Senna. Maybe there's a pick for Caps now. I don't even really know who they would wanna go for. Could be a top lane pick as well. I mean, if they go late game, maybe a Sion. Maybe a Sion for BB. Or the Trundle! Okay. I mean, okay, there it is. Bit of a cooking coming out from G2. Caps very surprised. What are these images? They're doing Caps dirty there. Okay, if I'm Koi, If I am Koi, I mean, you cannot really pick the sign anymore. Who do you want to go for? Is it just the Renata? Or not even... I wanted to say the Renata, but this is gonna be indeed the Rel. Or maybe it's not the Rel. Okay, there is some issues, it seems like, with the draft. Renata, I mean, it should be Renata, right? That's like closest where Renata, Rel. I feel like they wanted to pick Renata. Or wait, no, wait, what? Oh, I feel like they just fixed the bands, right? Never mind, this is still the Rel. Well, the Warwick band was funny against Broken Blade. I feel like as for G2 they can still go for the Cyan. Just make sure that if it comes to the late game, then the Cyan is gonna have a front line. I mean, there were the Trundle there. But I feel like the Cyan would be kind of still big here. Unless they wanna go for something crazy. I mean, this is... both BB and Mirvin can definitely play some weirder champions. So I'm not necessarily surprised about that. The band's very similar from the Koi side, as you could see last time around as well. The Victor could have been fine for Koi. Now what else? What else is even left for Jojo here? Koi kind of cooked already, no? Maybe the Rise. They're gonna be leaving the mid lane as last pick, it seems to be the case. They need to blind one of them. And this seems to be the leaning towards the top side. Is it gonna be the Mbessa? I really don't like the Mbessa. But to be fair, I mean, they already don't really have that many champs on the top side. Like a lot of them has gotten banned. Mbessa is... wait, how is LEC having like such a huge Mbessa win rate? She's not that good. There's a Rise taken for Caps. And also Camille top lane. Or, I mean, I guess could be mid lane as well. Honkyu has just played, not just, like a week ago or two. And just played the Camille mid lane. But I would expect this to be going to the top side. Well, oh no, Jojo, do not pick the... oh no. I guess Galio is like fine together with... oh no. On paper, fine with the Pantheon, having that engaged too, but like, oh, I don't like this Koi comp by any means. Ambassador is absolutely not that strong. Varus is like basically your only damage dealer here. And I mean, Varus definitely has some range. But eventually the Senna not gonna be matching that, however, it's still gonna be absolutely fine. You don't have to touch Varus's. I mean, Varus is not really gonna be getting to you as much. Unless like with the Qs. I don't like this one for Koi. I feel like they should have went Rise instead of Ambassador and then choose someone for the top. If this goes beyond 20 minutes, I mean, G2 just automatically wins. I feel like this is the game they take. So like, again, I forgot like which games, like, I don't know if it was like Koi who took the first two and then G2 won, or like G2 tied it to 1-1. I don't remember which one was that, but Jesus, sorry. So I don't remember which one was that, but I don't like this Koi draft by any means. All right, let's see. Let's see what they bring. Another dance. Wait. Oh, that is dirty. Oh, there is no... No, no. This is dirty. This is... oh my god. No way they just done that. G2, what are you doing? Okay. Gonna be causing trauma for Mirvin with this one. That is crazy. G2 just lost the karma. So that's why G2 lost. And so thanks to the karma. What was this? This is dirty tactic, G2. Why do you have to resort to such things? These are dirty tactics. Why, G2? You have the better comp already. Why would you do such things? Oh my god, even if Caps wins this one here, then it's absolutely GG. He's going for the trades. He's being more aggressive now. I love to see that one. Oh, this might be actually soloable though. There's a level up, bit of a health for Jojo. Helping him out, but so far it's not looking too good. And in general, I just don't really like the Galio mid lane, so... Yeah, there is nothing really I like about Koi's comp. Ayoya coming in. I mean, he was definitely the shining point of the early game last time around. Let's see if he can get the same laning for Koi. I mean, they need to win the lane super hard if they want to win this game, but... Oh! Jojo! I knew Ayoya was coming, but like, Jojo! Oh no. This is extremely doomed. Keep in mind, G2 has a late comp and they're already up 2 kills. This is crazy. Oh no, Jojo. And there's an equal trade now. I don't even know what to say. Koi now gonna be losing the early super hard. I mean, that is the part that they did. I mean, that is the part that they done the best in the last game. And now the stacks are not stacks, all odds. And now the odds just even more stacked against them. They're losing the part that they were the best at to a late game comp. I mean, at least Caps likely gonna be dead here. So there is that. Ayoya coming in, killing Caps. A little bit of maybe a redemption for this. For like this comp. Maybe a little redemption for Koi. But this is still not looking great. Ayoya, come on. You done so good last time. When he's there been a ward, BB exactly knows what's happening. And meanwhile, Sipa, you need to get this kill. You need to get something here. You cannot let this comp just get away with this early game. Okay, at least. Nice down there. A water going in. There's a kill for Supa. That's really good. That's really good. You cannot let this Senna to get ahead. Caps is already in a pretty good position. You cannot let the stacker get even more stacks. That was well done. I mean, this is how it should have been gone. That's how it should have been gone from the beginning. Except for those 2 kills. I mean, I guess like the Mirvin kill is kind of that was kind of dirty from G2. The kill onto Caps. Oh, sorry, the kill onto Jojo. Caps' kill onto Jojo. That was absolutely avoidable. But they're back now. The tables are turning a little. I mean, we're still quite in the early game, so I guess this is all just on par. And Ayoya, no level 6, but might be going for a dive. Can intercept Broken Blade before he just jumps out. With the shield, I mean, he's probably fine. There's still the flash. He's gonna be holding up and using that, and that is well done by BB. But I did just more and more stuff into the pockets of Supa. I mean, that is gonna be your only damage dealer basically in this game, so it's not a bad idea to have as. Oh, wait a second. Skumon gets the dragon but gets killed. Oh, this is so sloppy. Oh my god. I haven't delivered LEC, but what happened to my region? These games are so incredibly sloppy. Can you get down caps? I mean, yeah. No, I don't think so. Oh my god, we're living in the slop. These so far are not the highest quality games, not gonna lie. There's just so many mistakes. I mean, to be fair, G2 it's absolutely not over. The comp is just so much stronger, and it's only gonna get stronger later on. Koi, I feel like, needs way more lead than that if they really wanna close it out before the Senna goes online. I mean, Stupa doing his best to just... I don't even really know how Koi could win. They need the stars to align for this comp. At least Mirwin is doing a little bit better this time around in the lane. The last matchup was not the greatest, so I mean, props to him that he was able to avoid that after the laning phase. Yeah, that was definitely harder. This time around though, he's doing his best. Elyoya seems to be trying to go for the grubs. There is gonna be a skew on the run, but I do feel like that Koi at this point is more stronger, so they should be taking it. I mean, and that's what they should be doing. I'm a little sad that they haven't went harder for the dragon. Was it like the fastest one as well? But they don't have that stacking. At least they're gonna be having the 3 grubs once again. Or actually, what were they? I don't even remember who got the 3 last time around, but nonetheless, that's what Koi needs. All these passive objectives and maybe some kills along the way. As another one for Stupa, that's pretty good. However, ooh, Hans got one. That is not too great. They need to get more here. This 1-for-1 is absolutely not worth. Giving kills to Hans is not a good idea. I mean, it seems like at least Mirwin is still sticking around at the bot side. That's not too bad. They need more plates. They need the gold or everything they can get on the map. But he's out. He's gonna be out. Well done by Lavrov here. Being there in time. I mean, this went pretty well for G2. The fact that Hans are able to get like 1 kill. Obviously, Supa gonna be still ahead. They're just expected, but I mean, Hans is not doing a bad job here. Okay, Hans, pretty low, but he just wants the stacks. Just wanna go for the stacks. 27 so far. I mean, that's not too bad. I'm not the most knowledgeable on Senna stacks and what is the average, but like in 10 minutes, that's not bad. After the static done, probably can get a lot more. And I mean, G2 has time. They can go for late. They can just wait until Hans has like 100 or something stacks. I feel like you would want to have like... what is the threshold kind of for Senna? Is it like 60 or something like that? Whenever you're like already she's online. I know it's like after 100 you can kind of start to outrange the turrets as well. But I feel like from what I've seen, at least in LCP, it's around like 60-ish whenever she starts like actually doing a ton of damage. And also like whenever IE is done, obviously. Jojo? Uh-oh. Okay. Hook is not connecting. He should be out here, but that was a bit dangerous. And Mirwin, can you get a plate here? No, Bibi gonna be back in time. The cabin is also gonna start to pop off soon after the Triforce is done. Koi finally gonna be getting their first dragon, and we're getting a mountain actually. Wait, that's actually pretty good. But I'm still a little afraid. They just have no damage. They have the lead somewhat. And to be fair, like, oh, super, just when I was about to say he's gonna be the main carry if they wanna win. Gonna be missing the ultimate, and Hans should be safe. But Super has the lead. I mean, gonna be building it. He has probably the most gold in this game for now. But I feel like even if he's super fat, that's just not enough. I just really hate Galio comps. Unless it's like full AP Galio, which is there was Sai in LJL who was always doing full AP Galio. That is pretty fun. But besides the Galio, I don't know, I just don't like them. Unless it's like any support or something crazy happening. Or like a hard carry top laner. Elioya versus Skewmond. Last time around that was somewhat Elioya favored. And this time around it's gonna be another KFS Super. Man, I was watching too much LCS. I always want to say Ayla. But none of them was Super. The Blade and the Ruin King also done. This is what Koi needs to do. They're playing this mid game basically as good as they can. Like, I do feel like that at least they're like macro movements and who gets the kill, all those. These are good. But just watch it still not being enough. I mean, to be fair, I have no idea who else Jojo could have picked. There were so many mid laners already out. But it's just not it. Like, especially against like a scaling comp. Like, eventually, like, if you go late, it's already over. Jojo, can you prove me wrong here? Can you prove me wrong that this is not a playable comp? I feel like G2 is still absolutely happy with how the game is at the moment. But I wouldn't really expect this time around for them to really start going for any crazy plays. They're just gonna be chilling. No reason to rush. I might be fast forwarding at least to the Herald. Because again, I don't think that they would do too much. Okay, Bibi might be proving me wrong here. He's aggressive. I love to see that one. Maybe a little too aggressive. You know what? I can appreciate the try. I could appreciate the effort at least. Koi's mid game is once again not the greatest. They're just getting caught out sometimes, but engaged from Alvaro, not too bad. There's also Jojo. They're gonna be taunting Labra for so long. And another kill for Elioya. Maybe the other carry would be the Pantheon. Maybe that's the deal here. They're just a Varus and a Pantheon carrying this game. And I mean, the Gordon is getting actually kind of scary for G2. Especially with this Herald now. They can finally break down I think they would use it on a top side turret. Or the Stupa is here, might just be immediately popping it. Or they're keeping the Herald for a bit longer. I swear, if G2 somehow loses this game, I'm gonna be so sad. I don't remember which game they lost, so I guess it's not a spoiler for me for now. But I mean, Super dealing the damage to Skumon, but not necessarily able to hit him too much. So yeah, I don't remember which game G2 lost. So I guess this game is still an open book for me, but like from the comps, it should be so G2 favored. And Koi, they don't really have the dragon stacking going, they lost one. Gonna be picking up their second now. But I just feel like they're already kinda out of time. Senna nearing the 50 stacks. They're just gonna get even worse as soon as the second item comes in. Now, can Super get a few more kills here? Can they get it as... Oh, Alvaro gonna be going down to caps. It's not looking good. And I mean, I keep talking about the Senna, but the Rise as well. As we're entering the later stages, Rise is gonna get just stronger and stronger. And I mean, there's the Trundle. So it doesn't even... I don't really get... Jojo should have just went for the full AP build. Yeah. I mean, Super. All eyes on you, Super. There's the Herald popped. More gold for Super. That is the name of this game. Are they gonna be crushing into this one? No, the next one. Yeah. Okay, maybe 2 turrets. They cannot really do much about the second one, but at least one turret for Super. And the others as well, but Super is the one you should keep your eyes on. I guess like Elio as well. I'm always forgetting him, but like 1.k up against the Trundle. Thunder and Sky already done. This guy is insanely strong as well. And well, this is not a kill, at least, and not a turret for Koi. Not too bad so far. This mid game is much better than last time around, but to be fair, there's just not much really that G2 could do. They're patiently waiting for the scale to like kick in. They're patiently waiting for the stacks, and oh, there's immediate flash on Skumon. They're not taking risks unless TP coming in from Broken Blade. Is the fight they're winning. I'm not necessarily sure about this one, but there's Jojo here, and Labrov already gonna be taken down. Skumon as well. I think G2 should not have fought this one. Another one for Super. Oh my god, surely there's no way G2 losing with this comp. They just had to be a little calm. Go for some macro, like that was their stroke point last game. But they're just giving themselves into Koi. Yeah, any kill for Super. They don't even really try to take Super down. I mean, they couldn't really get to him, but like, why fight then? Like, unless you can find a good pick on Super, I should not have went for these hard engages. 5k of a lead for Koi. I mean, I guess G2 could still win. If we go super late, G2's comp is eventually gonna be outscaling Koi's. But looking at the gold lead, this is not really promising. Is it a time when I'm getting worried for G2 at play-ins? I like their comp. I feel like their draft is really good. But Jesus Christ, they just have no idea how to play this. And I mean, I haven't read the patch notes. I'm not necessarily sure how Senna and Smolder is gonna be part of MSI. I'm not necessarily sure if Senna Smolder is still sticking around for MSI. But like, if you're gonna be in this scaling type of meta, then Jesus Christ, G2, to just learn how to chill. I mean, I don't even know what is the next. Would Koi also get the mountain? At least like the soul point. Would Koi get the mountain soul point? And would G2 just trade it maybe for an Otacon? Seems like everyone just resetting for the time being. I feel like Koi should 100% just focus on the Otacon rather. They're really trying to get this dragon, and I mean, G2 does not really seems like would sneak the Otacon, so might be the right choice. Just a quick dragon for Koi. Gonna be their mountain soul point. Easy peasy. And they could also potentially just go for Otacon here, no? After this wave, they could just absolutely go for Otacon. Seems like they would just rather wanna go on the bot side. Wait, am I crazy? Otacon has been taken, right? This is getting... Man, I'm not used to streaming at night. Yeah, I just looked at the map. I was like, it's already taken. Okay, that makes a little more sense. I really need to adjust my time to stream more at nights because MSI is gonna be at night as well. Solo queue in North America gonna be night as well. I should just scuff up my time zone. Oh, G2. Trying to go for Jojo. I feel like this should be a kill, but TP coming in. Oh, they're not taking down Jojo that fast. I mean, he is down now, but it took so long. Can they win a fight afterwards? Oh, wait a second, Mirvin is also down. I guess like the answer is yes. Skewmon with the ultimate is absolutely so far carrying it for G2. As now Caps should be getting a kill as well. Oh, they need to get so much more here. Wait a second. Oh, super, triple. Wait a second. Okay, there's even gonna be ultimate from Elyoya. Super might got a quadra here. Okay, that's gonna be Elyoya's, but a lot of kills for Koi. Oh, G2 overextended this one a little. Not a bad idea from them, but Koi is extremely ahead now. This should mean another threat for them, and Supa is just insanely fed. Senna with the 71 stacks though, I mean, that's pretty good. Now, I'm not sure if it's good enough to really compensate for Supa, but if G2 can still win, I mean, I feel like they still should though. Am I crazy for this? I feel like G2 should still win this one, like their comp is just so much better. And I mean, Supa and Elyoya, 100%, they're looking to be very strong. But the G2 team is just absolutely gonna be outscaling them eventually. I mean, we'll see. I really don't remember. Was this the game that G2 won or not? I mean, yep. That makes sense. That is what I would expect this come from Koi. I mean, I guess it's working. Maybe Elyoya can be the second carry in this team. And in that case, it's not a big issue that Jojo is not on some hard carry like last game. But Senna, look at Senna, 78 stacks. Eventually, this doesn't matter like 3,000 or how much Supa has. The Senna is gonna be incredibly strong. 3 items now. G2 just needs to stall this game until Senna also gets an IE, and after that, I mean, it's just a GG. Gonna have more than 100 stacks, gonna have an IE. Even with the rapid fire now, she's gonna have an insane rage already. Koi's 5k lead is absolutely not that. It's a little misleading. Most of that is gonna be on Supa, who is incredibly strong, but I mean, oh, Caps, the bait here. Yeah, 3,000 lead on Supa is a little bit misleading, I'd say. Because a ton of power in the stand is gonna be in the stacks, and the 84, that's a ton of stacks. And even in the mid lane, Caps is gonna be pretty strong right now. Also arm guard on, fully stacked Rod of Ages, Sarah's also kind of like transformed. And Koi, I mean, they absolutely 100% need this soul. They need the extra shield against this comp. But once again, might sound crazy, but I don't think this is enough. Koi is doing like almost everything correctly in this game, but these drafts are just so unplayable. If G2 is not, I mean, I feel like G2, is this, I mean, this is a game that they've won, right? Maybe I should have checked. Maybe I should have checked at least like what kind of champs they're playing in the games, but I completely forgot. There's no way they're losing this though. Like their combo just absolutely outscales Koi's. Like this is not even funny. When is the point when Koi's lead is actually gonna be enough to kind of counter G2 scaling? Is the point with the Mountain Soul and 5k of a lead? I don't know. Senna close to 100 stacks now. Honestly, G2 should just go side laning now. This Senna is gonna be melting the turrets, but before doing so, they have to do something with the Baron problem. Koi taking this extremely fast with the on-hit Varus and also Alioya. But now, ooh, ultimate from Supa still gonna be catching Lebra, but he is not dead just yet. Hans Sama on the side. They need to kill Hans Sama. I feel like until Hans Sama is not dead, there's still a bit of danger for Koi. However, they got down Lebra, and this might be enough for Koi to go for the Baron. They're gonna be choosing go. They're not choosing the safe option. They're going to go Hans now. If Steno is dead, this is still looking fine for Koi. But they cannot find anything. It's the Baron angle though. At least they're gonna get the scuttle. But the Baron might be still too hard. Yeah, they're just gonna be resetting, or are they? There's found the reset coming in from them. The goal lead has been 5k for actually, I mean, it was like 4.5 and then 4.8 now. Koi is able to somewhat stick around, less than 5k of a lead, but close to that. But if this keeps on going, G2 just scaling to infinity. And these fights just gonna be harder and harder for Koi to win. Ever seen a Baron now? Is it Baron time? Koi almost got it last time around, had to retreat. But now, G2, I mean, they should know that something is going on, but no vision on that. Now they know for sure. They have to engage, they have to get this Baron. But it seems like they're not feeling they're strong enough. Will G2 really just wait until the IE for the Senna? I mean, might be the right choice, not gonna lie. But Koi taking everything, I mean, that's what they should do. This goat lead might just be enough to really basically outscale the scale comp. To counter the scaling on G2. Might be enough, but I mean, if Koi wins with this comp, then I'm gonna be real disappointed with G2. Koi gonna be pushing soon on the 7k of a lead. And while I was talking about how I feel like G2 just gonna be scaling to infinity, I still think that Senna, I mean, eventually she's gonna be almost unkillable with her range. With all that being said, I mean, when you have a 7k of a lead, I feel like that doesn't matter what kind of scaling the enemy has. And I guess well done by Koi, but more so just disappointed in G2. Like, they were the ones in game 1 who I praised for the macro. And coming to the second game, the Pico scaling comp and just has a pretty bad macro overall. Koi, I mean, Koi with the turret, with an inhibitor now. It is still throwable though. I know, it sounds kind of crazy, but this is still throwable. If Stupa is down, maybe Elioya can do some damage, but I feel like if Stupa is down, there is a chance to win teamfights if you're G2. But it's getting quite hard now. But it's gonna get hard, especially with now Bloodthirster done. Basically full build for Stupa. However, on the other side, IE also done for the Senna. Another fight. Oh boy. This is absolutely throwable. Absolutely 100% throwable for Koi still. The need to protect Stupa. Protect the president it is now. Stupa must not fall. If he is dead, then I feel like G2 can just take the Elder and right after maybe the game as well. I mean, 34 minutes, that's a pretty long death timer at this point. Both teams understandably hesitant to take the Elder. Koi needs to be careful. You should not 50-50. It has now nice engage from them coming in. However, Hansam already dead. I feel like Koi just won this. Koi just won this. And right after, even if Broken Blade was able to maybe escape as well as kept. Oh, there's a stun. I mean, BB not gonna cause too much trouble here. Alvaro, well done there. Another kill with Stupa. And that's another for Koi as well. They should be closing this game out. I have no idea how they're winning this. G2 absolutely fumbled this game, I feel like. They had weird engages during the mid game when they absolutely should just still be stacking. Like, I'm not sure why they went for those. So many times I feel like they overestimated their power. And Koi absolutely well utilizing on that. This is a really good game from them. I'm a little bit more hopeful for a potential Koi good performance at MSI. Their mid game can be a sauce. Their mid game can be sauce at times. But I feel like this game is kind of redeeming that part of that. The drafting though, I really don't think this would work against any other team, but for now I'm happy. I'm moderately happy for Koi. And it does feel like we are finally seeing a good super performance. I mean, he was playing fine, just Last game was a JoJo show. He was forced on Galio duty this time around. But good to see Super stepping up. Okay, as I'm saying this, Elioya is down. That's a really strong member from Koi. Alvaro also down. Hans's range is really insane at this point. 134 stacks. Oh, and that's... Oh, wait a second. There's gonna be ultimate from Caps. Not gonna be taking that. But look at the range on Hans. Oh my god. There is no chance. Okay. Engage. Re-engage from Koi. Not gonna be doing too much, even with the Elder. And they're gonna be taking... Wait. Okay, there are no minion waves. Sure, that's not the end, but like... What is Koi doing, man? What is Koi doing? Is it time, though? Have you reached the point when G2 actually just outscales Koi? I mean, there should be a free Baron for them as Super with the Zonias. I mean, he might need it. I'm not sure why he went for the Zonias instead of the GA. I guess because Arm Guard is a pretty easy one to pick up. But there's gonna be Baron for G2 now. They have to be fast because there's gonna be minions. Wait, the minions are taking this one, right? I mean, like one turret at least. Okay, the second one, maybe they... Oh! They got the Baron though. They got the Baron. They're gonna be kinda... The Baron is gonna be doing a lot of heavy lifting here. But I guess like they kinda be susceptible to a potential backdoor here, right? They're gonna be susceptible. Okay, Super might do some funny stuff here. But also, gold lead is just going down and it's absolutely gonna be non-existent. 159 stacks for the Senna. Oh my god. I'm not happy that Koi is gonna be... Oh, wait a second. I might have just said it too soon. Are they losing it or not? I was not happy with the Koi comp. However, somehow they proved me wrong for a whole 35 minutes. But in the end, it seems like this is still the comp is gonna be outscaling them. The main member to look out for is Hans here. As long as Hans can just go for the range, as long as he is alive, I think this is... Nope. That's a win. That's a win for Koi. Well, I didn't know which game G2 won. I forgot which game G2 won, but it was not this one. Koi went up 2-0. There was no universe where they should have won this game, but somehow they did. Oh my god, I am not confident in G2, which is, I guess I'm happy about. Yeah. I'm not confident in G2 by any means. This is such a bad game from them. Like, they had a better draft in my opinion. But this was such an but this was like executed. This was executed so badly from them. Oh man. I am not confident in G2 when it comes to the planes. Which I guess I'm happy about. Gam is probably looking at here and being like, oh. Like, not oh. Gam is probably looking at this match and go like, oh. Wait a second, we can just win like this? Okay, let's fast forward to game 3. Fast forward to game 3. This is the one that G2 won. And last game was so bad from them. I'm genuinely curious how they're winning Vi into Poppy. Now, probably, wait, okay, I don't know with these people, but probably Nidalee top and Poppy jungle. I don't like the Poppy jungle. If I'm being honest, I feel like Poppy jungle, for the most part, on most people, is kind of useless. Now, obviously, it's a different scenario when we're talking about, like, Peanut or Canyon. There is a different... Maybe not today, but just in general. But as for the other teams, I'm always gonna be a little skeptical when I'm seeing the Poppy jungle. I have not really seen a good Poppy jungle in LEC nor LCS. And as for G2, Kai'Sa, Alistar. It is a really strong comp for now. Is Skoi gonna be having the Braum? I guess that makes sense against the Kai'Sa, already locking that one in. Wait 1 second. I'm gonna grab some food quickly. I'm just gonna grab a little and then I'm back to watching this. So yeah, my thoughts on game 2. I have no idea how G2 lost that one, but they somehow did. I want to see a good mid game from Koi. This is the game that G2 won. But with that being said, I just want to see a good mid game from Koi. Because that was their main issue in game 1. Game 2 was just weird because G2 just kept on fighting with the scaling comp. But when it comes to this one, I want to see a good mid game from Koi as... Oh, the Zeri. Oh, no, I don't like this one either. I'm really not happy with Koi's draft. Last game I had my issues even though they won. And this one as well. I mean, Zeri is not that great without an enchanter. Maybe with a Nautilus. But like besides that one, I haven't really seen a Zeri pop off. Well, G2... Yeah, I mean, this is just a pretty good comp. Zeri might have a Braum, but the Annie is gonna be super strong with the T-Burst. Can just pop it anytime. Doesn't matter if shield or not. Oh, Jojo. And lead Jojo with the Stylus. I mean, that's a pretty good pick. Into the Alistar, it's always a good choice in the team fights. But G2 just has such a nice, well-rounded comp. I mean, Annie has already been played beforehand, but now with the Annie... With Ori, that's what I meant. I mean, Ori has been played beforehand. So they cannot go for the Vi Ori, which is like, I think, one of the strongest duos right now. But even with the Annie, I mean, they can just lock anyone down from the enemy. And when you're Zeri, that's a very scary thought to have. So yeah, I mean... I feel like in general, Zeri is kind of... No, I mean, obviously, like, it's already games 3. I mean, it's already games 3. So, ADC pool is gonna be chunked down. But I don't know, I don't like the Zeri in these circumstances. There's just so much threat on the enemy. Even when you have the Braum, I feel like that's gonna be hard. I mean, there is Poppy, there's Braum, sure. On paper, that's not too bad. But once again, Alyoya, I'm sorry, I love you. One of the best junglers in EU. But with all that being said, I just... Whenever I see Western teams play Poppy, just not hit That does not hit the same as when I see LCK junglers do that. Elyoya though, prove me wrong. I mean, there's not much of a gank here. Enough to kind of force out caps a little, but that's all. Okay, not too bad from Jojo. And Cap still gonna be able to trade it back. At this point, not much. I have literally just one ability so can until they stack the stun. So not too bad. But yeah, G2's engage is just so insane. Even through the Poppy shield and the Braum shield. Just so many tools for them to engage behind the back lines. The only saving grace that Koi has is the Nidalee top. At least the Nidalee top is pretty good in lane. And also afterwards in the side lanes. So there is gonna be that. Definitely gonna be having that power on the sides. But when it comes to team fights, I'm a bit worried for Koi. Like, they have the tools for sure, but it just... I mean, Stupa needs to have like perfect positioning. Elyoya and Alvaro both have to have so good shield usage to just save him. And to be fair, Jojo can definitely like steal away the Alistar ultimate and be a front line like that. But it's so situational. G2's comp is much easier to execute. But I mean, considering the fact that just in the last game they somehow were able to lose with that comp, maybe that's what they need. Just a very easy comp. You go in with the Vi ultimate. You know, maybe Vi is gonna be knocked up by the Poppy shield, but afterwards you still have the Sion, you still have T-Burst. You just have to play it around a little, you know. Just have to play around with all the possible like engage tools you have. Just bait out the shield possibly. I mean, Mirving gonna be winning this lane. There is no surprise about that. The only question that Koi has is how much Mirving is able to afterwards outside the lane go for side lanes. G2 just should not overextend. That is the only thing. They should not overextend for these. They have to bait out the abilities from Koi, and after they are down, that's the go button for them. Okay. Here we must be able to go back. There is a swap coming. There's a swap already from G2. Just to be matched by Koi in the end. Elyoya! Oh, nope, that's unstoppable. That was an unstoppable boy. And I forgot about that aspect, but I guess, yeah, unstoppable also. And I don't care about the poppy shield that much. So once again, I'd like G to scum more. But I mean, I said the same thing last game, and I thought that was the game that they lost. Turns out I was wrong. Now I know they're gonna be losing this game. I know the score was 3-1 for Koi. So G2 gonna be winning this. I'm not gonna bait myself into believing otherwise. But this is now second game in a row. Then in my opinion, they have the better comp, and seems like they're gonna be executing this one better. I mean, this is a much better comp to execute. But that is something I'm worried about for Koi. Because it does feel like that their mid game was questionable at times. The drafting is not something that I really like. I mean, Mirvin is a very creative top laner, so I mean, there's that. Can definitely have some creative top lane counters. And when Jojo pops off, I mean, like on the Ahri, he can definitely showcase some great performance. But a lot of times, because their mid-game shenanigans and also because of the drafting at the times, it does feel like that they are just fighting from a disadvantage. The laning is really good, just have to stop. They have to kind of, I feel like, get the drafting is something I would look at. If there are things I want to improve, and also their mid game. If they are fixing those, I mean, they could be an actual legit team. I don't know how much they could do that in the NA solo queue and in the short amount of scrims they're getting at MSI. But at least, okay, G2 should be getting this one. Alvaro, pretty low on the health bar, and it's gonna be first blood for Hans. Super had to pop the ultimate. There's Elioya gonna be stopping Skumon for a while, but with Alvaro, so Labravo also here, it's gonna be a flash shot from Elioya, and that's it for the fights. Very easy to execute comp, and as you could see, even through all the shields, they're just so much engaged too that G2 is all but fine with that. Let's watch this again. I'm nice engaged from Labra. Poppy is not around, so that was pretty easy. But even when Poppy arrived, oh, I'm not sure what happened here. But even when Poppy arrived, even through all those shields, there are still so many tools in here. What is this? I'm watching the VOD. I've seen like I like peeking into the finals, and I've seen the score, but I wasn't able to like fully watch that. I'm curious to see what kind of competition LCP is gonna be having. I'm not that happy with LEC though. I mean, we'll see in game 4. I don't remember the draws either, what draws they had. We'll see what happens in game 4. Koi can definitely be like a more creative team, but their mid game is not. I'm not happy with that one. The laning in this one is also not too great. But to be fair, the Zervi absolutely should not be winning lane, so that's on par what to expect. Jojo gonna get caught out here as well. I mean, yeah, the Silas is definitely a good pick into the Alistar. But it's gonna be over. No, he's still out. I'm not happy with Koi's draws either. So I feel like whenever G2 is gonna be facing GAM, for example, in the play-ins, that could be something that maybe GAM could exploit. G2 is, I feel like their macro is really good. Their drops are, I mean, they're very creative team, like all the players can play anything. The thing that someone like GAM could exploit is the laning. Though with that being said, this is a very easy comp to execute, so they're gonna be winning the laning phase here. But they had some execution problems like with late game comps. And this is an easy draw for them. I wouldn't expect them to really screw this up. But when it comes to like a little harder stuff, I feel like someone like a GAM could absolutely take games away, maybe matches away from G2. I mean, that is gonna be possibly the matchup to look out for, depending on BLG or anyone's legend, whoever wins that one. Depending on what kind of form LPL shows, but I feel like overall it's still gonna be coming down to G2 versus GAM, who's getting the last mainstay spot. And at least in this one, G2 sometimes showing life. For example, here it's a pretty easy comp to execute, but I mean they're doing fine. They're channeling together. And then, yeah, when it's like just one button to channel together, they can do that. The late game comp is not necessarily that great. There's the first red for Koi too. I mean, Koi is keeping themselves in this game actually somehow. Wait, what's happening here? Is it just like objectives, or... I mean, the Nidalee is gonna be winning topside, that makes sense. But other parts... Like, why is this game so equal? G2 were so proactive, but... I mean, Koi holding themselves pretty well. Now we're entering the mid game. This is where I would be afraid for Koi, but their laning is this good. Not even just the laning, early games. And I don't know how much that would be like mattering much against Asian teams. At least Koi is gonna be having a bit more time to practice while they're waiting for the playing teams. Playing is gonna be like a few days just, right? It's like a GLS format. I mean, players could be like 2 days if they want. I'm not sure how long it's gonna be taking, but it's not too much. Yeah, it's probably 3 days. Whether there's the first round, the eliminations. I'm not sure. Maybe if it's BO5, it's like 4 days. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I know it's kind of like a trope with G2, but the planes actually might be helping them. I mean, if they get through, should not underestimate GAM, nor anyone's legend or BLG, whoever gets there. Should not underestimate them. But I feel like G2 has some moments when I'm like, okay, this team can actually do stuff, like in this game. But then I see them mis-executing their calm game 2. Then I see them game 1 just losing early game super hard. Never really come back to that. And then I'm getting a little worried for them, but you never know. Maybe they get a buff for MSI. They're not as bad, however. I have a lot of American friends, and they always make me believe that G2 is just horrible until I watch them and I'm like, I mean, they have issues, but like, they're not that horrible. I'm still scared for them. But it does feel like that last playing spot is gonna be for either G2 or for Gam. Maybe what G2 needs is to just get in the first match the Brazilian team. If they get them, might be a confidence boost enough to carry it over for the second qualification game. But it's really hard for both G2 and Gam. Like, for both of them, I'm scared if I'm a fan of those teams. Especially against Levi, I feel like that's gonna cause some issues. Because Levi's type of jungling, especially when he's on like carries or even like Maokai, someone that could play like he just steals away all the objectives. Gam's macro is actually pretty good. Again, they can definitely cause chaos, and G2 is not necessarily super succeeding in those chaos that we've seen in this game. Whenever they are in control, like in this particular game, they're absolutely doing well. If things go according to them and the enemy team is not really fighting back, then G2 can 100% take over games like here. But if there is any chaos involved, then that's a different story, and someone like Gam is 100% gonna be going for that. Now, I mean, the Brazilian teams as well, but I feel like that just hands alone G2 would be winning that. All things considered, I feel like both teams are somewhere by my expectations. What I was thinking about, like how LEC would do. But it was just always hard to tell because G2 is always like such a bad regular seasons, and then they're like playoff comes and just turn it on. What's surprising to me is Mirvin is not really able to side lane as much as I thought he would. I mean, he's going equal to the Sion, and Sion is gonna be absolutely like omega tanky as game goes on. I mean, even in the 1v1s, Mirvin is not doing the best. I mean, this Koi's comp is just absolutely falling down. I guess the Zeri scaling a little, but like against the Kai's scaling is not bad either. And as I said before, I feel like just G2 has so many tools to shut down Stupa. I don't feel like he has the same type of security as the last game he had. G2 already doing Atakan on spawn. I'm not sure that's necessarily what Skumon wanted. It's getting a bit dangerous. They're not gonna go for Atakan throws. Good. That is our patented. That is our patented thing in the STP. Do not steal our things. As a super easy flash out. But getting the Zeri's flash out is massive. I don't necessarily think this is enough of a takeaway to start Atakan. But at least for the next minute and a half. Also, Koi wouldn't be able to really take the Atakan like this. I have to give props to Broken Blade though. I genuinely thought the Sion would be far more behind on this point. But he's holding his ground. Also trying to dodge Mirvin probably as much as possible. And Mirvin also just could not do too much on his Nidalee top for now. I mean, Nidalee top's only job is to just go on side and push. Just get the objectives. Pretty good laning as well. That is the only job, and he is not really executing that for now. I mean, at least finally, there is one turret. Equalizing the turrets with this one. But the gold lead is still gonna be ever so slightly in G2's favor because of the kills. There's, oh, Alvaro! That is not a good spot to ult. Immediately gonna be down. And Mirvin, that's not a, no, it's not a tank, no. Nidalee is not tanky. Is also down fast. Cass might be in a bit of a trouble. Has to dodge a few of those away. There's a shield, oh, Tibbers. Not gonna be going for the stun. And it's gonna be going down before he could stun up Jojo. There's gonna be a bit help. And in the end, this is good for G2. We've got like 2 members. Supa trying to get some gold. I mean, that's what she wants, kill with the Zeri. But I do feel like he's not having the same type of firepower as on the Varus. Absolutely not against the Kai'Sa. This is a much better performance from G2. Good to see a little life in them as well. I forgot how game 4 goes, but maybe that one was also gonna. Maybe that one is also hopefully gonna be a little more closer, because G2 did not look good last game. I mean, this is gonna be silver. Then yeah, there was just no abilities and really couldn't really scroll through for caps. Just barely not on the stun. And he might be going down again. Oh, there is finally a kill for Stupa. But is this really a fight that like the Koi wants? Oh my god, the Sinusaur is super tanky. Jesus Christ. Only 23 minutes in and Sinus already getting to the unkillable state. It's gonna be healing quite a lot as well. Is it just because of that one dragon? Is it already that OP? Mountain Soul Point for G2. I mean, obviously there's a Nidalee on the enemy team, even though there's not an AP Nidalee, so those Qs are not necessarily as dangerous. I mean, that still would be a pretty nice soul to pick up. And that's what I want from G2, I guess. They used to be the team who always like invented and went for the crazy comps. But I guess I need to move on. This is not that G2 anymore. They need the easy comps. They need to rely on their macro, and then I guess they have a chance. So if they're playing against Gam, that is exactly what I want them not to do. I want them to go for another one of those late game comps. BB is actually super fed now. I didn't know where to put BB because again I haven't watched that much at LEC. But I know BB from last year as like this super impressive top laner, and for now, I mean, he's gonna be TPing in, but even before that, Elio is already down. That's a Baron. That is a Baron for G2. I mean, Skewman should get it. I really don't think there is any type of steal coming in. Unless this is some crazy one, but G2 gonna be stopping even the Baron for this fight. Ultimate is gonna be pretty good actually from Skewman, but wait a second. I have a bit too much though. I'm lost one member in Hansama. I would have loved to see more kills on Hansama, but I mean, other members are still gonna be pretty strong from G2, so that's likely gonna be one for Broken Blade. That's good. That's pretty good. You take this at G2. Couldn't take the Baron, but few more kills maybe. Oh wait, what? Okay, I guess Skewmon, that was a bit too dangerous there. And Mirban is gonna be strong. Like, the auto attacks are actually pretty strong from this Nidalee. Well, okay. I guess Cap's got a kill, that's good. I guess that's good. What was that though? Yep, I'm back to my previous assessment. And these teams are sloppy. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need the slop if you're playing against someone like a Gam. You need to bring some craziness. I mean, to be fair, Gam is like not that vintage Vietnamese team who would always go crazy plays. Sometimes, I mean, there are cases, especially when Levi gets the Nocturne or something like that, then they could be kind of like crazy. If they face G2, I do feel like that might be coming pretty fun. That might result in some pretty fun games. But I'm not as confident, if I'm being honest. Maybe I'm just like too much of a fan of an LCP. Maybe I'm coping with... I mean, the place for the play-in slot, like the main stage slot from the play-ins, I feel like that is just wide open. I would still say that LPL likely gonna be grabbing it pretty easily without much of a hustle. Like, especially with the fact that they're playing so many BO5s. Like, be it BLG or Anyone's Legends, they just like played so many games. So I do feel like that I think it should be there still. Despite TS's failure at first end. I do feel like that LPL at this current form should still be easily getting out. When it comes to the one lost spot, though, I mean, that's what I need to look out for. If G2 picks this some similar comp, just easy engage, somewhat scaling, but not like with the Senna or, you know, with champions who can be champions even before 30 minutes. Then I'd be scared for Gam. Let's just hope this is not the type of G2 that shows up. And we're seeing like game 1 G2. Even though game 1 they played pretty fine in the macro stance, so that is still a scary aspect. When they lock in and the game is going in their favor, they can still stomp. But as game 1 showed, if the early game is not going to their way, then they can absolutely fall apart. Honestly, once again, could be I'm just coping. But I feel like that's like fine for Gam. They just have to go for sloppy fights. Just win the lane and right after just, you know, try to always fight G2. Not let them macro. Because if things go how they want, then they do look like the strongest team. Now obviously, we know that they won't be winning this match. But I mean, again, hello Kurami. But they just need the game to go in their own accords. Hello Kurami. My cat paid me a visit as well. Hello Kurami. Hello. The matches are going pretty late though. I don't know if it's like actually, but it does feel like that the matches are later now. Like, we had so many pre-30-minute games, I feel like around like the start of the year. Also could be because teams were just figuring out what to do and that made like a lot of snowballs. But I don't know, it just feels like the games are super long. Also, they're having so many, like, not necessarily 5 games, but at least 4 games. I had a conversation with actually the LCS stat guy, Leo, who's doing the stats for LCS. I had a conversation with him about, like, what Field is doing to the games in terms of, like, are we seeing more stomps? Like, whenever it comes to game 4 and 5, the draft is going to be very important. So is it more likely that we see stomps? Are we seeing more trios, or are we seeing less of them? And this is just my feeling, but I feel like we haven't really seen a trio in such a long time. There was like a few in LEC or like a LCS, but I feel like we haven't seen any trios, except for like some at LCS. But LEC, or sorry, LCP didn't have a single trio in the history. We also don't have that many BO5s, but nonetheless, we haven't seen any trios. I remember like 2 silver scrapes just from the last weekend. So it does make me wonder if Fearless actually just making it more likely to happen. So yeah, I do have a feeling that Fearless, at least game 4s and 5s, making it a little more draft dependent, and also kind of randomized because of that in like a larger sample size. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the first 3 games are still unaffected. That was an original take whenever Fearless came out. I thought in BO3s it won't change too much. Obviously it's more fun not to see Azir Cork every single game. But in terms of like comps and all that, I feel like that's not that different. The real difference comes for game 4s. It would be nice to actually see some stats about that though. Like, are we seeing more randomness in game 4s and 5s? Are we seeing more stomps? Like just comp dependent stomps? But it's really hard to quantify, so it's just gonna be eye test and just feelings from me. But as for G2, they're very likely gonna be ending this game. I do think they have the better comp, and I mean, Koi has some shields here for sure. They have some safety for Stupa. But G2 didn't even need to use anything for now, like there is still any ultimate. Samok also can just jump in whenever he wants, and shield used by the Poppy. Are they gonna be using this off cooldown? Nope, just the dance around. My worry for the LEC, and then that goes for both teams, is I feel like they're just not proactive enough. Like, I'm not saying they should throw all the time, but like, if you're just gonna be hands, then you're gonna be losing to a lot of the teams who are going to MSI. I feel like they should just be opting into more team fights, especially now if you're G2. 35 minutes in, so many engaged tools. As soon as you get down the Poppy shield and the Braum shield, you just should go in immediately. As BB is just so strong, and ultimate, there you go. Poppy shield not helping you now there, and also from Hans. And that's what I meant. There are some of those abilities, some of those ultimates that just does not care about nor Braum nor the Poppy. And this is exactly what's happening here. Stupa now all alone. Cannot do too much. And G2 should just finish up this game, I think, yeah. And they're probably going for the end. Long cooldowns. Long death timers. G2 just going for the end. So this was a game that they won. And honestly, props to them. Wasn't a hard game. There were not that many pushbacks from Koya, I feel like, but I mean, they can still close it out. Koi's big problem is a lot of times they cannot close out games. At least they show they can close out games. They lost laning to Koi though. They lost the laning to Koi though in a lot of the previous games. That is worrying. But if they're up in the early game, even I'd say against maybe the LPL team as well, though that's gonna be hard in itself. Bean has not been in his form. I don't wanna say that he would be. Bean has not been the same, but I mean, if he wakes up just like even half his peak, then G2 is gonna have issues with the laning. And if G2 is having issues with the laning, then they haven't showcased to me for now that they could come back. Their snowball is pretty good, and that's pretty usual. Roman's always having the crazy outfits; those are also pretty good. And if G2 snowballs, they snowball like Nunu, but they cannot come back really into games. And fast forward, last game. Oh, this is last one. All right, and as for their last game, I'm gonna be honest. I was like peeking on my phone when it happened. I was at the family dinner. I know the end score. I know this is gonna be Koi's victory, but I don't remember anything from these games. I was also not the most sober when it happened, especially game 4. So sometimes I was like peeking down on my phone, but it was mostly just to check what is the score line. I don't remember anything besides that. So anything in-game content is still gonna be a surprise to me. I don't remember the draft either, but yeah, that's a Jinx trash from G2. Something that's like kind of surprising to me, how the Jhin was like absolutely not featured in any of the drafts. I think he was having like a 0% presence so far. No bans, no picks so far, and no bans, no picks. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not necessarily the biggest Jhin lover, but it's still like a little bit weird. I mean, he has his place. The range, obviously, somewhat of a good engage tool as well. Also with the ultimate, you can like follow up some of those crazy team fights. He definitely has his value. I am just surprised to see that none of these teams really care much about the Jhin. On the LCP, that was like sometimes even a game 1 champion, game 1, game 2. And this Skarner went through so many of the bans, so many drafts as well. I'm also somewhat surprised that the Skarner only coming out now. But with that being said, I mean, we have seen a Trundle, so I guess G2 sometimes cooking and leaving the meta for later games. Which, by the way, might be actually a way to do it. This is something I was always curious about Fearless. That is something, even when Fearless came out, even now, I'm kind of thinking about sometimes. Like are teams actually thinking about Fearless in draft? In a way that, like, let's say, oh, we're not gonna be picking this champion because if we lose this game, then the next game we still need to pick someone. So it's like, we think we can beat them with this one as well, but if we don't, then we really need this one in the next game. I don't know. They probably just be like, have the best possible comp in every single game, because you never know, like, you just want to have your at your max. I would assume that is how teams are thinking, but I would be really curious if there is like any consideration going into from the code side, like into the whole Fearless aspect of drafts. Yeah, and with that being said, the Nofuri in game 5. Nofuri's lifespan was kind of interesting because at one point she was like extremely like so many, like every single drop had her, even after the nurse. But like slowly but surely, but like she just fell out. I feel like she had the 0% presence, like big presence in CP in the finals. Connor Oriana for G2. That is a pretty good delivery system, by the way. Not the fastest one, not like a Nocturne or like a Wukong or something like that. But definitely not a bad one. Slow but reliable of a delivery system. Well, Koi going for the normal top lane. We're not seeing Mirven cooking this time around. That's why I wanted to watch review this. I was like, Mirven, this guy always goes for crazy stuff. The Nidalee is not that crazy anymore, let's be honest. I was expecting something more, but he is not giving that us. Wait, oh, Jojo picked up the Kassadin. I guess we're going late once again. And the G2 went for the top lane Mundo. Okay, top lane Mundo. I have not seen this game. I did not know the draft. Only thing I know is that... There you go. Only thing I know is that somehow Koi is gonna be winning this. And seeing the picks here, my assumption is that we're gonna go late. This is the last game we need to review from LEC. And it does feel like that, we're going late. Okay. We have already seen actually quite a lot of Mundo jungles across the regions. I haven't seen that many top lanes though. Now that is absolutely a Broken Blade champion. Obviously, if anyone, it's gonna be him who's playing it at. But Jojo and the Kassadin. Honestly, I think he also hovered the Syndra. I remember him, I remember a Syndra hover. I mean, I would have liked the Syndra as well. The Kassadin is gonna be a little interesting, I'd say. I mean, might be needed. This game, once again, just like a lot of games these days, gonna go too late. So I absolutely understand why the Kassadin is picked for Koi. I'm glad there is the Kassadin angle and not like a Smolder. Late game comps can go a lot of ways, and happy to see at least it's this way. Okay, Koi already has damage in the lane. Ezreal really needs those items. He's just invisible before the Triforce and might be getting his first kill here. As actually it's not even gonna be his, it's gonna be Alyoya's, but well done there. With an offer you can go for these dives, obviously you can reset the aggro. Easy play, but nonetheless wants to get a good one from Alyoya. This is now the third game I think when he went for like super early like dives and then like ganks and all that. And this is the third time now that Alyoya is going for the early dives and early ganks. And that definitely contributes, as I said before, that Koi does have pretty good early game. If there's any way that LEC could challenge other regions less like LCK, LPL, might be the early game, but it's just gonna be so hard. Like laning into someone like Zeus, if Hamba makes it Obviously, Hum would make it, right, guys? Surely it wouldn't be Katie who's making it from LCK. Surely. But so far, good one. In the LEC level, at least. I'm really liking Koi's early game. If they could work on their mid game, they might be an actual legit team at MSI. But that is like, I think, the hardest thing to really learn. Like maybe those screams, you know, watching a lot of VODs, watching a lot of pro games. There's always that part, but it's just so incredibly hard to learn in game. Mirvin just does not even care about BB. That's the Mundo effect. Just rather go for the plates, why not? Can Koi play this late comp better than G2? I mean, probably. We all know that they're gonna be winning this game. We already know that part. It's not a surprise anymore. So that's a yes, but I still wanna see it. I wanna see a late game comp well executed too. Maybe it's not gonna be well executed, actually, I don't know. Could be that G2 is gonna be super ahead and they just throw. But what they have done in their comp, that was... I was not happy. I was absolutely not happy. I just need to see a well executed late comp. Like, as much as I'm rooting for the LCP, I want some hope for the LEC as well. It's so much fun to watch Lost MSI. That's okay. G2? Alright, G2. Fighting back. To be fair, I mean, this is somewhat expected. They should be stronger at this point. And they're gonna be taking 3 kills immediately. I mean, if you're Koi, obviously, you do not panic. Not just because I know that somehow Koi is gonna be winning this game, but Kassadin. That's a cost. I mean, I don't have my watch on, but watch your watch. I had the same thought about the Senna as well. Whenever G2 played it, it did not come to an actual victory. But this Kassadin, I mean, it's all on Jojo. Can he finally make scaling comp work? Well, whoa, wait a second. Moon is already dealing that much damage with the briefcases. That is not a far champion. Knows his anything in the jungle. But wherever he goes, he goes wherever he goes. He goes wherever he wants. But nonetheless, it's still just a really strong champ. Like, extremely tanky. The damage is also insane. He can sustain anyone. I haven't read the patch notes. I'm not sure if he's getting nerfed or not. He might be getting the Baus treatment, but Elois? I don't even know. I've seen like a lot of shorts about the guy, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. Elois, I think Elois is like, yeah. Elois might be doing what Baus did to Sion. I do feel like if not for MSI, then eventually the Mundo nerfs are gonna be coming. As nice hook from Lavrov. But Jojopin already level 6. Not quite 16, but even at level 6 you can just jump away. Are G2 gonna go for the grubs now? I feel like they just need every single early thing that they can get here. And it's 3 members on the top side. I mean, Mirvin should be dead. I don't really know if he has a chance. Skewmond? Still holding up on that ultimate. I mean, he probably knew that others are coming to the top side as well. And Grub's gonna be going for Koi? Okay, honestly, G2 actually not doing that good. I don't know, man. I mean, like, G2 started this game so well, I cannot even really say that their early game was bad. Or they just too scared? I mean, if you give kills to the Kassadin or the Ezreal, they can just pop off later on, but like, at this point, especially Kassadin should be so weak. I miss the G2 aggression, the old G2 aggression. At least baby still gonna be getting the places. Also root for Mirvin that he's not gonna be dead. There's a Cassante. If G2 wanted to win this game, and I'm gonna view this now from that perspective, like, what could have they done different? I feel like they should have been just way more aggressive. Maybe not the Mundo. Mundo needs the items. But at least as for the others, like Hans, I feel like should have been able to get ahead, a little bit of help from Skumon. I feel like Skumon has not used the ultimate in this game for now. Even though there was like also like if you remember the top lane play. The Skuma uses all there immediately, they can probably get a kill. So all things considered, this is just not as aggressive with G2 as I was hoping, expecting maybe. And even in games when they are on a time bomb, the bomb is sticking on that Kassadin halfway there, which is not exactly halfway because it's not linear, but level 8 on the Kassadin. And unless G2 can get like once again like a 5-something thousand gold lead, I'm not like once again as in like what Koi did to them. Understand? Alright, full build done for both Skuman and Broken Blade. Now it is time to just tank up everything. Oh wait. Against the Cassante? No, he's still out. He's still out. He's still gonna be health. He's still gonna be healing back up as well. But yeah, I feel like it's a similar situation as in game 2, just different teams. Or was it game 1? Actually no, the Stena game, that was game 1, I'm stupid. Similar situation, just different teams. G2 is now... wait. What am I saying? Yeah, sorry. Alvaro. Like that here. And that's what I wanted to see. Okay, Lavrov getting the kill, that's not the greatest. But I wanted to see some aggressiveness from G2. Like they played aggressive with the Senna. Well, they should have just waited. They're a ticking time bomb here against the Kassadin, and a lot of the times I feel like they're just a bit too passive. LE is gonna be picking up the dragon, that's really good. They're gonna be pretty fast with that one as well, like the stacking is gonna be on the table. Okay, from the remaining dragons, what do you want? Like, probably mountain or... I mean, even the ocean. Ocean maybe would be better because of Mundo. And, okay. We got an ocean. Everything going well for G2. How are they losing? Is it really just the Kassadin? Like, they just could not close this game out fast enough? Is it even possible to close out games before 30 minutes these days? Under normal circumstances, if no team gets like some massive snowball, it does feel like that teams are really good at just stalling games, and we are seeing so many games going over 30. I really need to check the MSI patch notes. I know there was like a preview there. Maybe not the full thing, but like there was some preview what they're gonna be changing. And I need to know, are we really gonna be in the scaling meta? Are we really seeing the majority of the games going further than 30 minutes? And if that's the case, I don't know, that's not good to G2, right? Maybe it's good for Koi. I mean, we'll see here. But I wasn't impressed with G2's standard performance. Alright, skewing those out safely. I know Koi would be winning this one. Is it really just level 16 hits and right after they just winning, or what's happening? Would it really just be that? How's the Mundo gonna be losing this game? I mean, he's a bit behind to Casante, but like still. Is he just not pushing? At least props to G2. Once again, their objective control, their map macro is still good. Even their losses, I feel like that was the best part of the team. Maybe dropped as well. Those are the things that I really like about G2, but everything else, they still need a little bit of work on. I mean, I did talk about how Koi's main issue, in my opinion, is their mid-game and how that's super hard to fix. Now, if I were to talk about G2 then, I feel like their issues are a bit easier. Just better laning, better early game. I just feel like that's easier to practice in general. With that being said, I'm a little bit worried if G2 cannot win the lane. Not to talk down on Koi's like solo laners and like the Stupa and all of them. But G2 gonna be facing much harsher competition at MSI. Or maybe not. Maybe secretly Koi is like the best team in the world. Castellan is Omega behind right now. And he needs so much time still for the 16. I'm genuinely curious how G2 gonna be screwing this up. Because for now, they're like playing fine. False Dragons, got the 3 grubs as well. Oh sorry, they didn't, never mind. I missed it with the Otacon. 2 very fast dragons. They're also gonna be having a pretty nice front line. Jinx is gonna be scaling really well. Like, what was that? So not even just Jinx, but like obviously like a Cassante, all of that. Anyways, I expected more chaos from LEC. Some of these games are a bit slower. In Koi's case, I mean, I can kind of understand. Level 11, still a bit further away from 16 on Castellan. But if I'm G2, I just wanna fight them now. You need to fight. Oh, Caps is gonna get blown up here. Wow. I guess I forgot about the Nalfree. All my plans are out of the window when it comes to Nalfree and even BB. Oh, that drift was not the greatest. Maybe he can take down at least Alvaro, but not even Alvaro. Messy fights here, and I mean, these are not easy champs to kill, to be fair. Koi definitely has to work for them. Can they take down anyone? BB probably is dead. Okay, at least BB is down. And Koi got back the gold. stopping the dragon stacking as well. Yeah, this is the point. I feel like that it's a GG for G2. Surprisingly, Koi's mid game now is the one that's kind of be changing the flow of the game. And as for G2, they just have not really showed that they could really play from behind. They're like, they can sometimes, you know, do plays. Like in game 1, they were able to kind of catch up in gold. But that is also like in a very slow pace. Like not a lot of fighting. They were not on a. I mean, they had Senna. They were not on a ticking time bomb. They had Senna. They were the ticking time bomb. What was the game 2? So game 1. No, game 1 was. I already forgot what was game 1. The Caitlyn? No, not the Caitlyn. Whatever. I don't remember. That's game 2. Sorry. In game 2, G2 just had to be slow and they could not. Now they are not a ticking time bomb. They are against one in the Constantine. And while they're a little bit more active on the map, it's not enough. Koi got better in terms of macros, but I feel like throughout this series they're matching G2's shenanigans much better. And this game makes you maybe a little more confident in Koi. I mean, main stage teams are gonna be hard. You might be getting a Fly's probably the easier opponent for someone like Koi. Fly is probably among the easier opponents that Koi can get. But like besides that, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of team fighting teams, and that's might be not Koi's strongest point. Unless they just go for always the 5v5s, but both teams are a little hesitant, I feel like. And I'm sad to see. At least it used to be, at least from what I remember, the region that they just always went for crazy fights. Maybe sometimes sloppy. I mean, if you're ahead, do not go for sloppy fights. But I feel like G2 should kind of go for them now because, I mean, they're gonna be running out of time eventually. As Mirvin even gonna be solo bullying BB. That is really rough. That is not Alois Mundo. This guy is not pushing, he's being pushed in. G2 is such a weird team, I don't know where to put them. I wanna think that G2 can pop off at MSI just like last year. I wanna believe that this team still has like I wanna believe that this team has time to grow, to actually just get better, fix their mistakes, but I don't know, this team is just not the same that I remember. And well, Jojo, not quite 16 just yet. Might be going down. I mean, there should be a kill. Hans is one picking it up. And that is actually a pretty good fight for G2. I wouldn't necessarily count this as auto-control. I feel like that's, especially with Mirvin's skill, still is a pretty worthy auto-con. But I mean, there are some brilliances, like moments of brilliance from G2, where I might almost think that they can win, and I just remember the scoreline wrong. But that is not the... Okay, Koi is also gonna be thrown in here a little. Or are they? Wait, not a single kill for Hans? Wait, how? Is Koi really just that tanky? Okay, Scuman is also probably dead. Or... No? Oh, they're playing with low health bars. Okay, you know what? Just disengage. Mundo is completely useless in this game. Now I'm in second item. There's gonna be a Spirit Visage, even more health. But sometimes I'm like, okay, G2 did something great. I mean, to be fair, there's like 1 kill for Hans, but right after, there was no one really happy in Capstone on top, so they could have just collapsed on the Mirwin. Eventually, they kind of wanted to go for that, but it is a little late. They're really chasing kills, but in the end, they could not really get anything. To be fair, Koi also kind of throws a lot of times, so I'm just part of the fun. But the dragon now, G2 would absolutely need this Ocean Soul Point. If somehow we go to like 40 minutes, then Koi would have a chance to get 4 oceans together with the soul. They would just absolutely never die. But I mean, G2, same for them. There is only 2 more left to pick up. But they need to win this fight for that as... Oh my god, wait, the shockwave from Caps is not doing any damage. Wait, what is his build? I need to check that one. Just absolutely not dealing any damage. It just went straight through, I think it is Hans or Caps. Wait. The Scubond is dead? Oh, level 14. Level 14. That grants Koi for their second rake. 2-2 once again. I don't think we are gonna be seeing a soul. But just stacking the ocean itself is also pretty good for Koi. Denying every single health from the Mundo is also like a pretty good trade they can take. Businessman Mundo would not like that though. Yes, Scumon gave the kill to Jojo. That is not great. Even the mid gap is starting to close as we are narrowing down to level 16. Very close to 15 and right after 1 more. And I feel like this is just a free win for Koi. And I guess like this is the plan. MSI comes and it is just late comes. But G2 needs to work on how to execute late comms because that was horrendous from them on the Senna. If you're genuinely getting like a full-on late game meta at MSI, man, I mean, it would be good for Koi, I guess. But G2 needs to like win early hard. G2, if they wanna get to the main stage, they just need to focus on hands. Just take every single fight early on. Because everyone is going for late comms as you could see the Stena game. Oh, Kastanin level 16, yeah, GG. That's a GG. So that's how Koi won this one, I see. And G2. And varying size for G2. That's all I'm saying. They could not execute a late comp. And it seems like they're also losing to a late comp. And that is worrying when it comes to MSI. Again, I said this a million times. Haven't read the patch notes, but there are so many changes. However, if you don't touch the Senna or the Smolder, I feel like that's still a little bit worrisome. If you're Gam, I mean, just pick late game comps. Apparently, late game comps and like Sion for Kia or something like that. I feel like that is the way to beat G2. If for nothing else, coming from a LCP perspective, Koi at least showing how to beat G2. I hope Gamba's watching this match closely, because there are just so many takeaways the way G2 plays, their mistakes. I feel like there are some very glaring issues with the team. There are also some very shining good things about them. The macro, if they are led to snowball, they can be strong. Now that is something that Gam needs to focus on. They need to cause chaos and also just like probably pick late game comms, because it looks like G2 just has no answer to that. And we should be seeing the end of this game soon as well. I mean, Jojo also has a Melidrus now for third item. Okay, to be fair, when you're playing caster, I'm not that mad that you're starting with the Rod of Ages and the Seras. Well, now it's 3 items, level 16 already. I mean, Hans is dead. And they're just going for more. Jojo also killing Labrov. They're not gonna go for turrets for now. They're just an easy peasy Baron. G2 picking up the Baron too. They already have the gold lead, but to be fair, even if G2 had like 2 to 3k, the Casterin at this point is probably a better, stronger champion. How do you catch this guy at level 17? Oh, actually soon level 18. If I am Gam, I mean, here's the thing though. If I am Gam, Kia actually played smoother top ones, so technically that's also a flex. But if you don't want to go get that crazy, then obviously smoother ADC or maybe mid lane. If Emo wants to do some craziness. Having Smother, Senna, all those champions. Maybe the Kryptonite had to be G2. Or the Mundo. Kia needs to learn Mundo. I would love to see that more. BB is not executing that perfectly, but just in general I would love to see more Mundo. I'm happy to see that throughout the 4 games, Koi has showcased like multiple play styles. They did have earlier comps. We've seen their early game was good, so understandable why they would do that. They have played well against the late game comp in that Senna game when G2 just couldn't close it out. And now when they are the ones who are piloting some late game champions, they're still doing well. Just a pretty good, well-rounded team. Honestly, would not have really expected Koi to win. I thought that KC would win against Koi already. I didn't even really expect them to be here. But they're just proving everyone wrong. I'm happy to admit that, yep, I feel like Koi, in the end, they're just still a pretty good team, well-rounded. Glaring issues for sure, 100% gonna be, I think, exploited in the main stage. The stage should be good against, like, obviously, like, I feel like Latan. But maybe against, like, the LPL, like, 2. But maybe against, like, LPL as well, though. I just don't know where to put them. TS is out now already, but they just stomped during the regular season, which is a little worrying if you're an LPL fan. Like, you would not want to see TS after the FST performance stomping. At least other teams in the LPL woke up. BSG looking actually quite strong as Hans done with LDR. Finally done. There is LDR. He learned his lesson, he knows, even when they're about to lose. He just has to build the LDR now to avoid the memes. But yeah, if you're Koi, you should be happy with this victory. I don't know how to fix sometimes the mid-game issues. I don't know how to fix that. If the enemy team is just snowballing, then you cannot really come back. Those are some hard things to fix. But maybe they just need to go scaling, casting smaller those champions. And maybe, I don't want to say this, but maybe there is even a chance then for them to beat some Asian teams. Now this is not gonna be that easy against someone like BLG. Even if Bean had a pretty silent, should I say bad season. Even that with innovation, the team is looking way more alive. There's also anyone's legend though. I mean, might even be winning LPL, we just don't know that yet. For the audience considered, I feel like that Koi just need to hone their mid game, and then they can potentially maybe challenge some Asian teams. But I don't know, man. I don't know. The KC case was a bit different. I feel like because TS was slumping, TL was not also kind of slumping, but they were never had really expectations. So KC was a special case at FST. Now these new teams here, will they showcase some similar stuff? It's gonna be harder, because 2 seeds mean that there's gonna be one more LPL and one more LCK team as well, so it's gonna be quite harder when you're Koi. I don't think from what I've seen that they can do some upsets as they might have done during first end. But to be fair, first end had so few teams that it's like not even really that it could just be like absolute gamble. Koi looking to finish off this game. I mean, well played by them. And this is how you should play a late game comp. G2, if you're watching, I wish you guys the best end play-ins. But this is how you should do it, not against GAM. If you're playing against GAM, please just do whatever you did in game 2. That is my only wish there. But other than that, if you get to main stage or against other teams in the Swiss, like now of the play-in, or other teams in the play-in stage, I do wish you luck. And the Mundo is still strong, alright? Make sure they're not, okay, no, they're not defending this. The Mundo is pretty strong. What the hell is this? This is not a fair champion, but in the end, there is still gonna be Koi winning LEC. It was a surprise to me, not gonna lie. I was sure that it's gonna be KC versus G2. I mean, I think it was always in the... I think it was always a possibility for G2 to lose. You can never count that out, but Koi did it in a... But Koi did it in a weird fashion. They did have their weaknesses, but they were able to play around them. And MSI. As for MSI, there's a lot of ways I could look at that. And there's a lot of ways I could look what to expect. The EU fan talking from me is a little scared. Because it's not too bad, like the teams are not completely dead. But the weaknesses are way too visible. And I feel like if you're LCK or LPL team, they're gonna be absolutely exploiting that. Maybe even CFO. No, 100% CFO. I'm talking about them. From my LCP person talking. From that perspective, I'm a little relieved. I don't wanna say that because you obviously can never ever be relieved against G2. I'm coping with that one. I told this to everyone, but like, people said they wouldn't be in playoffs. They got to playoffs. People said they wouldn't be in finals. They got to finals. And they didn't look great. But I'm afraid, GAM, you have to do such a good job to somehow beat G2. And with that being said, I feel like that's still possible. Koi showed how. It's late game, baby. And if you are playing late game, and if G2 is playing late game, then just get them in the early game. I feel like that is a pretty good way to beat G2, as Koi has done so 3-1. Even when G2 had, like, in my opinion, a massive drive gap. But it's still better by Koi. So everyone, this is my... what was the title? So everyone, this was Scouting the Enemies. I have scouted LEC. My takeaway is that the game has a chance. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I'm gonna keep coping in this series. I might be coping a little less when I'm watching the LPL finals, because obviously that's another target who's gonna be in the play-ins. But if game brings their chaotic style, maybe a little sparkled late game scaling, it is doable, just unlikely. I wouldn't even say unlikely. Somewhat 50-50. Could be either of them. But I'm just happy to see Jojo in general, like playing Val as well. Our game was phenomenal. Happy to see him succeed even outside NA and returning to Canada. It's really hard to predict what's gonna be happening at Swiss stage, because obviously Swiss is Swiss. Is this the that's gonna be just normal Swiss MSI, right? Like, it's not gonna be any like a weird shuffle around or something. Oh wait, MSI doesn't have a bracket, not even a Swiss. I guess I'm just stupid. It's gonna be the same as last year. I'm not sure why I thought that would be Swiss. I mean, there's gonna be 8 teams in the bracket stages. I mean, that's not Swissable. Okay. I guess... okay, no Swiss. I guess no Swiss. It's just gonna be a normal double elimination. I don't know what rules are gonna be there. I don't even know when is the draw show. But whenever it happens, obviously I'm gonna make content about that one as well, predictions about that one as well. But at least see, you showed some good things. I expected a little bit more, if I'm being honest. I expected a little more creativity. I expected more from G2. I was shocked to see that they cannot execute late game comms. They got a little too aggressive. They got a little too ahead of themselves. And as for Koi, we'll see how much they can improve in the scrims. Unfortunately, MSI is not in Korea, so they're not gonna be having that many scrim partners. But yeah, I mean... but who knows? Maybe they're gonna be having exclusive scrims with Genji. And maybe that would be enough for them to fix the mid-game issues. But with that being said, everyone, thanks for watching. I'm gonna be streaming oh, wait, I need to... 1 second, Chad. It is time. Wish me luck. I'm trying to apply for... because like every time at 10 AM in China, there is like a thingy. You can apply for Valorant Mobile Beta. And it's like a lottery thingy, which I don't really like, but let me try it. Wait, it's not now. Wait, I got trolled. It's like in 20 minutes. The lottery thing is in 20 minutes. Never mind then. Wasn't even working for me now. Anyways, chat, thank you very much. It's fun to watch this one. LGL streams tomorrow. That's happening still. There's gonna be the playoffs of LGL Ignite. LGL streams. And then eventually I wanna watch LCK. I mean, not through the finals, but like the upper qualification and the other qualification as well. And then we have LEC finals as well. And also LPL, every single finals. I'm not going through them next week, like eventually. But that's it. That's it for me. See you guys in the next one, scouting even more enemies. Or maybe even Valorant mobile content if I get in the beta, but I wasn't lucky first day. I'm gonna be trying again second week. We'll see how that goes. Wish me luck, it's in 20 minutes. Thank you for being here. See you guys tomorrow for LGL. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.